it, folks? Hope everybody is having a great start to your Thursday. The winter storm knocking on our doorstep. In fact, already starting to drop some winter precipitation in areas of the River Valley along and south of Interstate 40, Northwest Arkansas. It's coming very soon, within the next couple of hours or so. We'll also start seeing the first flakes of this event for portions of NWA. So we've got a lot of things to get to. We've got a lot of folks who are joining in right now. I'm sure we're going to have some more folks that will join in as we move throughout the rest of this live stream. A lot of different things to discuss. I have made a brand new accumulation map as well. We're going to be showing that throughout the live stream too. But I just kind of wanted to get into some of the details, some of the weeds of the system, because a lot of folks have probably noticed this if they've been keeping up with social media. But there has been some significant uptrends in terms of that snowfall potential, especially for Northwest Arkansas. But in addition, and as a result of Northwest Arkansas having a higher in threat for snow, the River Valley as well could see even more snow than what we were forecasting just 24 hours ago. So a lot of things to discuss right now, a lot of comments that I'm seeing right now. A lot of folks hoping to make it home at Fayetteville at 6 p.m., wishing work would let us off early. So, Sean, you're going to be out there right as that snow is really ramping up across our weather coverage areas as well. So drive safe. That's not the worst time to leave right there at 6 o'clock p.m. But, hopefully work will let you off early too. Better safe than sorry. Tiffany, thank you so much for going live, especially since I have no TV. I always enjoy doing these weather live streams, so it is no problem at all. Heather is pumped for snow. She's getting all pumped up. She's ready to rock and roll. Sean, thanks for the update. Stay safe, everybody. And yes, we're hoping everybody stays safe throughout this event and also has fun with the snow as well, the ones that are wishing for it. Most schools are now dismissing early, around 2 p.m. Good report right there, Michael. Can you let me know some of the schools that you're seeing? I'm already seeing some comments about that, actually. Rogers Public Schools dismissing at 1 o'clock p.m. P. Ridge dismissing at 1 p.m. So that's some good reports right there. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me know about that. Do you sleep there? Pretty much, Willow Way, pretty much. I mean, at this point, I need to just put like a cot in like the manager room or something like that. Good morning, Dan Stuff Diva. Hope you're having a great start to the day. I see this comment right here. Lisa says, start stretching, Josh. I'm getting a little worried right now, Lisa, honestly, because these snowfall totals have uptrended. Hopefully, we don't get 7.5 inches of snow or more. Otherwise, I'm going to have to be running, and I didn't forget about that. I've already got all the stuff ready to rock and roll just in case. Ooh, good report from James right here. Already sticking down near Y-City and just started a bit ago. So here we go. Everyone is saying something different. Going to be interesting to see who is closer once it's all done. I'm saying 1 to 100 inches. Joshua, right there. Good prediction right there. Joshua, I think you're going to be the closest. Because 1 to 100 inches, right? I mean, it's got to be somewhere in that ballpark. What now, here's the deal, Josh. What happens if there's 0.9 inches? Well, then nobody is right at that point. So thank you so much for commenting there. Let's see here. Rugsy is the man, him and Weather Dan, Cody. A lot of great comments right now. I'm going to get to more of these comments as we move throughout the rest of this live stream. But I want to get right to the details because I know everybody is anxiously awaiting the latest information. So first of all, here's a look at the current radar right now. And I already see the first comment there, waiting for the dry slot. And yep, it is showing up on radar as well. So we are going to have to watch that very, very closely over our weather coverage area for sure. But right now, you're already starting to see that snow make its way into portions of the River Valley. Actually, really, it's more of a sleet mixture in some spots as well. But if we zoom in here, there's the precipitation starting to move into LaFleur County, starting to move into Scott County, just off to the south of Fort Smith. And here comes the precipitation shield. Now, here's the deal. There is a dry slot. Here it is, right here. You can see it moving up to the north and east, taking aim at Oklahoma City, ready to eat away at all the snow and precipitation there. And if we look at water vapor, it's even more pronounced at this time. I'm going to go to water vapor right now so you can take a look at that. I'm going to move this out of the way. I mean, it is about as obvious of a dry slot as you can get. However, look at all this energy that we've got to work with right now. I mean, there is a ton of energy with this system. So we have got a long ways to go, obviously. This is going to continue to evolve as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours. But there is a bit of a warm nose, too. It may not be as pronounced as what the models were showing yesterday. And if that is the case, then we are going to see mostly snow over our weather coverage area. But I still think this will be a bit of a process. I still think there is enough of a warm nose to see an initial round of sleet and snow. But right now, This is a big piece of energy, and it has trended a little bit farther north, which is why we are projecting more snowfall over our weather coverage area. So that's what we're cooking with right now there on high-resolution water vapor. Let's go to Megadoppler real quick as well. Here's a look at how heating cooling Megadoppler. Look at the precipitation shield starting to come in now. Might need to adjust maybe the colors a little bit on this. That way you can see things a little bit better. But, yep, it's coming in right off to the south and west of Fort Smith. Here comes all that precipitation lifting off to the north and east right now. A lot of dry air, though, on the left side of the screen here. You can see that dry air that's moving into Tulsa, Muskogee, and that's why the bulk of the snowfall, or at least the heaviest snowfall amounts, I shouldn't even say bulk of the snowfall, the heaviest snowfall amounts are expected in the River Valley. But here comes Northwest Arkansas ready to get some precipitation as well. So we're watching it very, very closely. So let's go ahead and look at the 2-day forecast timeline, because I know a lot of folks may be wondering about timing. So here's a look at it. This is for the River Valley first. So the reason why I'm showing the River Valley first is because already the precipitation is falling. So you take a look at these temperatures right now that's forecasted lower to middle 30s in the River Valley is in the forecast, borderline freezing or just below that. And then as more precipitation falls, we'll see those temperatures drop off into the middle 20s. But look at the precipitation chances continuing to rise throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. And if you're wondering about the main time frame for snow, that is going to be between 5 p.m. to midnight. So 5 p.m. to midnight is when the most likely time frame for snow will be over portions of the River Valley, at least the heaviest snowfall. And that could continue into the early morning hours as well through about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's the River Valley's 2-day forecast timeline. Northwest Arkansas, it's a bit different. Notice how the temperatures, at least in our forecast, are a little bit warmer than the River Valley. You can see temperatures, again, borderline freezing in most spots. I'm about to check the temperatures right now, so we're going to see if this is out to lunch. But 33 degrees, 34, 35 degrees. Precipitation chances really don't ramp up until later this afternoon, right around 2 to 3 o'clock p.m., though it may be coming in a little bit earlier. It may be coming in within the next hour or so. So that means it might be coming in a little bit earlier. But again, notice how those precipitation chances go up after sunset. Temperatures drop off after sunset. And again, the heaviest snowfall is expected between 6 p.m. through 3 a.m. in Northwest Arkansas, with overnight lows in the middle 20s. So that's what we're working with right now with the 2-day forecast timeline. Let's go ahead and take a look at our latest future track. So this is the latest high-resolution rapid refresh model. Now, I want to look at this. This is something I definitely want to look at right now. Let's look at this model. We're not even going to put it into motion yet. We're just going to see what these temperatures are, okay? So put a visual in your head right now, right, of what this is. Copy and paste this. So 34 in Fayetteville, 30 in Fort Smith, 29 in Poto, 31 in Boonville. All right. You got the visual in your head? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the temperatures, the current temperatures in our area. And I want to see what we're cooking with right now, because the models have struggled a little bit in terms of the temps. Oh, so wait a second. So the HRRR says it's supposed to be 34 degrees in Fayetteville right now, but the actual temperature is 30. Interesting. All right, let's move on down to the River Valley here. Oh, the HRRR said it's supposed to be 30 to 31 degrees in Fort Smith, but it's 29. Interesting. That makes a big difference, folks. In fact, every single area right now is well below freezing in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. It's interesting. It's interesting. Now, here's the deal. The temperatures at the surface do not matter for precipitation type. It can be 15 degrees at the surface and 40 degrees above our heads, and that means it's going to be freezing rain, right? So I know some folks are saying, okay, it's much colder at the surface right now compared to what the models were showing, so that means it should fall as mostly snow. Not necessarily, but I will say this. I was observing some of the observations and stuff like that. Yes, there is a bit of a warm nose, but it may not be very pronounced. So initially there could be a wintry mix, but it might not remain that way for an extended period of time. So having said that, this is what the current temperatures are. Let's go to the HRRR here. This is what the HRRR says the temperature should have been by now. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's kind of interesting to me. And that will play a big time role in our winter weather potential as we move throughout this event. So let's go ahead and put this baby into motion. So again, it has temperatures warming up. Now I do anticipate the temperatures will continue to rise a little bit more in northwest Arkansas just because of that potential southerly wind. Speaking of which, let's see if there's any wind in place right now. Still calm in Fayetteville, but it is moving out of the south in Bentonville. So it is moving out of the south in Bentonville, so temperatures may warm up. This was one thing I was talking about with Dan, and a big reason why I think the River Valley will also get a little bit more snow. Notice the winds in the River Valley, more of an easterly component. It's because of the elevation, folks. Elevation does play a role sometimes in the weather, especially here in our area this time of year. And you see this easterly wind through the valley, that can keep your temperatures down. Whereas northwest Arkansas may warm up just a little bit out ahead of this precipitation shield, the River Valley is going to remain cold because of that easterly wind. So that is something to keep an eye on there. Now let's go back to the model. I know I'm going back and forth, but the reason why I'm going back and forth, folks, is because I'm showing you that sometimes these models are not correct, even in the current conditions. So they can be hard to trust sometimes. So anyway, as we move throughout the afternoon, you can see the precipitation starting to lift to the north, and it says it's going to warm up in Fort Smith. I don't know if I necessarily buy that. We'll see. If the precipitation keeps falling, it's not going to warm up a whole lot. But it does still have temperatures warming up slightly above freezing area-wide. It still shows mostly snow, but if it was around 33, 34, 38 degrees in Eureka Springs, there would be some rain mixed in with there. There would be some sleet pellets as well. We'll see if that's the case. But regardless, later on this evening, the main piece of energy is going to start moving in. And right around 6 to 7 o'clock p.m., maybe an hour earlier at 5 o'clock if this system speeds up. But between 5 to 7 o'clock, that's when roads are going to start getting bad, in my opinion, because this is going to go from 0 to 100 really quickly. The snow is going to accumulate really easily on the roadways. It's going to be that wet snow that causes big-time problems on the roads. It's going to be slick in a lot of spots. After sunset today, it is going to be trouble on I-49, Highway 412, Interstate 540, Highway 59, Highway 71. You name any highway, Highway 109 near Decatur. It's going to be bad. So it's imperative that you stay off the roadways after sunset today. And if you must travel, you must take it very easily because this is going to be a pretty messy situation across our area. And that will continue during the overnight hours tonight. So the heaviest snow, again, is going to be between 6 p.m. through 3 a.m. 6 p.m. through 3 a.m. That is going to be the main time frame for heaviest snow across our area. Now, there's some folks asking about when does the winter precipitation actually start? Well, it's starting in Fort Smith. It's starting in Fort Smith. So there's your time for Fort Smith. For Northwest Arkansas, I still think 1 to 2 o'clock. 1 to 2 o'clock p.m., give or take. But all of us are going to see heavy snow potential overnight tonight. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just moving over the same areas. Now, this HRRR model has some of the lighter snow starting to move in right around 6 to 7 o'clock. It makes sense. Temperatures middle to upper 20s, lower 30s, northwesterly winds on the backside of the system. Now, this model says there's nothing at 12 p.m., but I do think there will be some flurries or snow showers on the backside of the system. So don't be surprised if we get an extra half inch or inch of snow on the backside of that system right around lunchtime on Friday. But temperatures should remain at or below freezing tomorrow afternoon with the snowpack in place. So, having said that, how much, says Matt? You are asking the correct questions, my friend. Now, before I get to our official forecast, let's take a look at what the models are showing. Now, remember, this is a 10-to-1 ratio, okay? So this is not going to be the true amounts over our area. Dan explained that yesterday in his weather live streams. But there has been a significant uptrend, even from the graph model. Yesterday, the graph didn't have a whole lot over Northwest Arkansas. Now it's got 3.5, 5.5, 6.5 inches. Assuming a 10-to-1 ratio, you need to eliminate about at least an inch off of those totals right there for the graph. But it is an uptrend. It is a noticeable uptrend. Another model who's had a noticeable uptrend is the European. Now, the European still wants to dig that kicker system a little bit farther south, which it's doing right now, but it has uptrended a little bit. It was a bit of an outlier. Now it's uptrending. GFS holding on to Snowmageddon, and the NAM trying to make me run 2 miles in the snow tomorrow. If you weren't here on the live stream yesterday, if there is 7.5 inches of snow or more in Fayetteville, that's what we're going to be measuring, I will have to run 2 miles in the snow, and I will live stream it. So we will keep an eye on these snowfall totals. But you know, the NAM, it has a tendency to overreact sometimes both ways. Remember, just 36 hours ago, this same model, folks, didn't have a snowflake in sight. It didn't have one snowflake over Northwest Arkansas, and it had like a half an inch of snow in the river valley. Now it's just like snow everywhere. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. The NAM is showing that, right? Now take another visual image of what you're seeing here, right? 8, 9, 10, 11 inches, right? But let's look at the snow depth. Let's look at the snow depth from the same computer model. Now, this is the 3-kilometer version, so this is a bit of a higher res model, but it's from the same kind of organization. And you know, as you can see, it's still showing good snowfall, no doubt about it. I mean, it's still showing good snowfall, but when you factor in compaction, when you factor in melting, snowfall totals generally in the 3 to 7 inch amount. 3 to 7 inch amount. Area wide, there will be a swath of heavier snowfall in the river valley for sure. But as you can see, that's still a good snow. That's still significant snow, but it is not 8, 9, 12 inches that the NAM is showing. Now, if the NAM is right, again, I'm going to be running. So if the NAM's right, I'm going to be running. But that kind of gives you a better idea of what we'll likely see over our area. Now, this model I'm going to show you is the HRRR, which is the computer model that I showed the future track. Now, take this with a grain of salt, too, because this is a 10-to-1 ratio as well. But, it's showing a significant amount of snow moving through the area. But this is not the true ratio. This is not the true snowfall totals. So you got to cut out about an inch or two off of these totals, especially in the river valley. Maybe even 2.5 to 3 inches in the river valley. But, again, it gives you an idea that these models are uptrending. They're picking up on something. They're picking up on that precipitation shield being quite large. Sometimes, though, the models cannot pick up on the dry slot. So we will have to see how this evolves throughout the rest of the day today. All right. Official snowfall map. I have uptrended this. I have talked to Dan extensively about this. Okay. So we have adjusted this. This will likely be adjusted again. But here is the estimated snowfall totals. Now, for far northwestern Arkansas, we are talking the far northwestern corner of Benton County, northeast Oklahoma, and Delaware County, and southwest Missouri, much of southwest Missouri. We are still forecasting 2 to 4 inches of snow. The reason why we are still forecasting this amount of snow in these areas is just because of where that dry slot is lining up. That dry slot could limit the snowfall potential in these spots. So we're going with 2 to 4 inches of snow in far northwestern Arkansas. That does include western portions of Bella Vista. Now, the vast majority of our coverage area, 3 to 5 inches of snow expected. Now, Brandon's already commented on this. He says 3 to 5 inches plus. Way to go out on a limb, but I get it. And here's the deal, Brandon. We are anticipating most locations to get 3 to 5 inches of snow. However, the reason why I put a plus there is because you have to consider the higher terrain of northwest Arkansas. So we're talking Madison County, Newton County, portions of Carroll County, Boone County. These areas right here could see higher than 5 inches of snow. We're not confident enough still to increase it any more than 3 to 5 inches in terms of our forecast, but we have that plus there because there is the chance that these areas right here could see some significant snowfall. So again, I get it. I understand that some folks are like, oh yeah, leave it to the weatherman to, put a plus at the end just so he could cover his bases. But it is accounting for our elevation areas, our areas that are a little bit more elevated in northwest Arkansas. And we're doing the same thing for the River Valley too, because in the River Valley, there's the Ouachita Mountains. Now, if we move a little bit farther south here, Fort Smith, Ozark, Clarksville is included in that 3 to 5 inch amount. But you move a little bit farther to the south, obviously the snowfall chances get greater. So we lean more towards that 5 inch amount for areas here along the I-40 corridor. Now, south of I-40, these areas right here, southern Leflore County, the majority of Scott County, in fact, the entirety of Scott County, and portions of Logan County, just off to the south and east of Greenwood. These areas right here, we have 6 to 8 inches of snow with the potential for higher amounts as well. I would not be shocked. Let me say this. I will not be shocked to see a 10-inch snow amount or greater in the higher terrain of the River Valley. in our weather coverage area. I would not be shocked to see that. Especially considering that it's already starting to snow in some of these spots. So this is where the highest amount of snow is expected. This is where the heaviest snow is expected. And that's why we're going with 6 to 8 inches with the potential for some higher amounts. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah. So our manager was letting me know that we can go ahead and post this on some other sources on Facebook. But again, folks, this is what we're looking at, 6 to 8 inches, locally higher amounts possible in the higher terrain of the Ouachita Mountains. So that's a wider view right there, again, of the snowfall. I'll zoom back into northwest Arkansas so you can see specific towns. Again, this will continue to be fine-tuned. It really all depends, folks, on the position of that dry slot, and it depends on how much of this precipitation falls in the form of sleet initially, especially in northwest Arkansas, because right now it's all snow in the river valley. Problem is that in the river valley, it's more of an easterly wind, so you don't have as much of a warm nose coming in. If you have the southerly winds, which is happening in northwest Arkansas, warm nose can move in, and I've seen it time and time again. It starts off in the form of sleet, and then it changes into snow. So, John, is this snow depth? This is our forecast. So we made this manually. We made this by hand. So this is our official forecast. Let's see here. What time are we thinking? Sorry if I missed it working right now. So, Cody, we're thinking River Valley right now, it's starting. Northwest Arkansas, the snow should start right around 1 to 3 o'clock p.m., 1 to 3 o'clock p.m. But significant impacts on the roadways, that will not start until after sunset, I think, like around 5, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. So that's what we're kind of looking at in terms of time at this time. Let's see here. I'm going to go back up here, and I want to kind of look at some of these comments. Updated winter storm warning for Benton County. Is that for real? That is for real. In fact, let's go here to the current watches and warnings. I did not show this, but yes, Benton County is now under a winter storm warning. The only county in our weather coverage area that's not under a winter storm warning right now is Delaware County in northeast Oklahoma. That's a winter weather advisory. Snow totals from 2 to 4 inches possible. Winter storm warning for the rest of the area. And that goes until noon tomorrow for most spots and right around 6 p.m. in eastern portions of weather coverage area. But not be surprised if that winter storm warning was extended, truth be told. I want to look at some cameras here. I want to see if Fort Smith is picking up on any snow yet. Let's go to Waldron first. Waldron's WeatherBug Network camera. Watch it just be like a winter wonderland. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Look at Waldron right now. All right. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Let's go, says Chase. Woo. Oh boy. It is coming down. And there is no sleep there at all. Wow. River Valley is cooking. This is crazy. Here we go. We're starting. I mean, you're seeing it accumulate, and it's accumulating quickly. So this is the deal, folks. This could be a potential overproducer right here. I mean, if it's already starting to snow, if there is no sleet at all, or if it's sleeting for 5 minutes and then it's becoming all snow, we're overproducing. At least in the River Valley. Now, northwest Arkansas, again, it all depends on the dry slot position. But man, here we go. Yeah, I'm actually pumped for everybody that likes snow. I'm pumped for y'all. I'm not the biggest snow fan because I got to drive in it and stuff like that tomorrow morning. But whew, here we go. Here we go. Country strong. Yeah, I'm. This is awesome. This is awesome. I mean, this is a winter wonderland. Now, here's the deal. If you live in Waldron, I know these roads back in these areas, they can be a challenge. So you need to go ahead and try to get home and take it easy on these roads because it's going to get snow covered pretty quickly in these spots. It's going to get snow covered pretty quickly. Let's go to the Fort Smith camera. Let's see if it's snowing there. Yeah, it's snowing. It's snowing in Fort Smith. It's coming down. And I don't see a whole lot of sleet pellets there either. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's go to Miss Laura's here. Let's see what Miss Laura's. Miss Laura's a little bit laggy. But you can see the snow there, too. Wow. Here we go, folks. It's starting. So it's rocking and rolling in the River Valley, and it will be moving into northwest Arkansas very soon. I'm sure Mount Magazine is just covered in clouds. No, it's not actually. Interesting. Mount Magazine's not seeing anything. That is kind of interesting, actually, because Mount Magazine's higher in elevation. Waldron is very close to Mount Magazine, and yet it doesn't. Mount Magazine doesn't have anything at all. That's interesting. Well, that will change soon. My goodness, look at Waldron, though. Waldron is cooking with gas right now. We have got hefty snowflakes there. Look how big those snowflakes are in Waldron. Now, here's the deal. We could have some gorilla flake potential because temperatures are very borderline freezing. The liquid equivalent, you're talking like 7-to-1, 8-to-1 snow ratios. Could be some big time flakes. Robin's liking this. He's seeing the camera right now. Robin, what do you think? He loves it. We're cooking with gas right now. I mean, it is coming down. It is coming down in Waldron right now. McAllister, Oklahoma, getting a lot of snow. So here we go. Hey, folks, send in those pictures. Send in those pictures. You can send those into the Weather Authority app, weather@knwa.com. You can also send that to us directly in Messenger on Facebook. We'd love to see these photos and videos coming in. Snowflakes are massive. I mean, they are. They're big flakes, and they could get even bigger. We're talking gorilla flake potential. What do I mean by gorilla flake? I mean like snowballs flying from the sky. That's certainly a possibility in the River Valley. Sean's all about the snow. Enjoy it, River Valley. River Valley's enjoying it right now, that's for sure. We ever going to get that blizzard warning? Can you believe it, Cody? We've never had a blizzard warning in Northwest Arkansas. There has been one in Northeast Arkansas, but Northwest Arkansas has never had a blizzard warning. And this will not be the first one either because the winds are not strong enough for sure. Let's see here. Gonna have to fly the drone when it gets started in Springdale. I love to see that stuff, Aaron. I love seeing some drone video. OKC looked crazy with the snow. Watch Reed's YouTube video. So, yep, Oklahoma City getting that snow, but they will also be dry slotted. So we'll cut off pretty quickly in Oklahoma City compared to other areas farther east. Heather with a great comment. Road conditions can change in a split second with snow, and that is true, Heather, especially with the snow like this. It is going to pile up fast if there's that convective banding. Man, I'm telling you, the River Valley might overproduce. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at radar right now. I'm just looking at all this energy coming in. I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. But here's the deal. The dry slot can sometimes kill snow potential, so we've got to watch it. Gloria is in Boonville watching this very closely. Very excited about the snow right now. Scrolling back up here, looking at some of the comments. NOAA Weather Radio Chat in Springfield said ratio will be 10-to-1, 14-to-1. So, yeah, Garrett, it will be around that in and around the Springdale area. Northwest Arkansas will likely be very close to a true 10-to-1. River Valley, it's more 8-to-1, 7-to-1 with this particular storm system. Yep, JT, winds need to be 35 miles per hour plus for over 4 hours to meet the criteria. Exactly right. Snow ice cream is coming. Speaking my language right there, Vance. I love snow ice cream, and it's definitely coming in the Rugged household. That is for sure. That is for sure. BRB, better call the wife, tell her how to switch to four-wheel drive. Yep, Aaron. It's about that time. Amanda getting a little birthday snow right now. Amanda, happy birthday to you. Hope it's a great one. Hope you're having a great time with your friends and family. And hope it is absolutely fantastic. And if you love snow, merry birthday. There you go. Happy birthday, Amanda. I almost said Merry Christmas. I am dead tired right now, folks. I'm not even gonna lie. My head is like spinning because I've been barely able to sleep over the last several days, just watching these models, watching these details. And now it's here. And now we get to watch with bated breath what exactly happens. Time to make a pot of chili, watching the bridges and overpasses. Yep. Neeb says time to make that pot of chili with beans, in my opinion. Will we have a cold temp layers throughout the event? So here's the deal, Kyle. We will see much warmer temperatures throughout the weekend and the early part of next week. So this will melt relatively quickly. Tomorrow will be on the ground. Tomorrow will be perfect for sledding. Saturday, you're going to see some pretty good melting. Sunday, it's going to be melting a lot and will pretty much be mostly gone in most spots. So it'll be not on the ground for a long period of time, but there could be quite a bit of the snow. Let's see here. Where is this? So this is in Waldron, Jessica. It's in Waldron. Let's see here. Can we see the radar, please? Okay, of course. So here's a look at Mega Doppler. Here's a look at what's going on right now. You can see some snow moving through the area here. Some heavier snow moving through portions of Scott and LaFleur County and southern Logan County. And starting to lift towards the Fort Smith area as well, Crawford and Sebastian County. That is lifting off to the north and east as well. So Fort Smith already starting to see some snowflakes, but you can see some heavy bands of snow moving through the Waldron area right now, as well as portions of LaFleur County. So this snow is moving through the river valley as we speak and knocking on the doorstep of northwest Arkansas, getting very close to Washington County. So this is all lifting off to the north and east. This video, that video this morning proves that you're exhausted. I hope you get rest in. So, Kenzie, I know what you're talking about. I did accidentally post an outtake of the video. So I was trying to post a weather live stream, a little weather update. And the first video I posted, I accidentally posted me messing up. So I messed up a little bit. And so I said, okay, restart. But I was frustrated because I was like, okay, I need to get this out as quickly as possible. So you could see me go like that. And then I restarted the video. So I do apologize for posting that before. I did fix the video, so you can still find that on social media and stuff like that. But I just wanted to apologize for posting that. I know I looked frustrated in there because I was frustrated at myself. I wasn't frustrated at anybody else. I was frustrated at myself because I'm like, okay, I need to get this done because we're wasting time. I need to let other people do their stuff. So if you did see that video where I had that bad outtake, I do apologize for that. All right, here. CT, will it be safe to drive tomorrow night in northwest Arkansas? So here's the problem I have with tomorrow night, CT. The only issue I have with tomorrow night is that we could see some refreezing on the roadways. And that could cause some black ice potential, and that could cause some problems right there. So tomorrow night might be a little bit dicey in northwest Arkansas. I'll be honest about that. So just make sure if you do have to drive tomorrow night, if you absolutely have to, that you're taking it nice and easy. But tomorrow night could be a little bit dicey. I'll be honest with you. The good news is by the time we get this tomorrow Saturday afternoon, we will see some significant improvements on the roadways. All right, let's see here. Nothing in Van Buren yet. So Larry, that will change pretty soon. I think that will change very soon. It's knocking on your doorstep right now. It's inbound. It is knocking on your doorstep for sure, about to bust down that door and erupt with some snow. Ooh, stew and cornbread, says Brandy. I'm all about that. I had some black-eyed peas with cornbread, little black-eyed pea stew with cornbread on the bottom, Brandy, on New Year's Day, and it was delicious. So James, yeah, you're right. The models are all over the place right now. I mean, again, the air temperature in Fayetteville said it was 30 degrees. The temperature and the models said it was supposed to be 34 at this point, so it's already 4 degrees off. So that's something that we've got to keep an eye on right now. Chili and grilled cheese, says Derek. So yeah, that is some good stuff right there. Love me some grilled cheese and love dipping that grilled cheese in a little bit of chili. Let's see here. Looking forward to the 1 to 8 inches of snow in northwest Arkansas. I mean, James, you're not wrong. That is the one reason why I do not like winter weather forecasting. Yeah, thank you guys so much for understanding again about this morning. Again, we're all human beings, and I understand that and stuff like that. But I do apologize a little bit for showing a little bit of that frustration on there. I just got to be a little bit more careful about that. So thank you guys for understanding. And yeah, the video without that outtake is now posting up on social media. Let's see here. Can you explain the difference in snow ratios between northwest Arkansas and the River Valley? Just curious. That is a great question. And as always, we have a graphic for that. So I'm going to move my mug out of the way. And let's go here to my graphic system. Snow ratio, liquid to snow equivalent. All right. So let's rock and roll here. Here is the graphic. And this is showing different surface temperatures. So here's the deal. Let's say we've got 1 inch of water, right? Now, that 1 inch of water is going to be equal to different amounts of snow. So if the temperature at the surface is 34 degrees, you can effectively not get as much snow out of that 1 inch of water. So at 34 degrees, you're getting about 7 inches of snow for every 1 inch of water. So let's say this was rain. It'd be 1 inch of rain. That would equal 7 inches of snow with a surface temperature of 34 degrees. On average, the temperature is 32 degrees. You have a 10-to-1 ratio, which is what every single computer model pumps out. Every single computer model pumps out a 10-to-1 snow ratio. And the issue with that is that the snow ratio is not the same every single time, because sometimes you've got 10 degrees outside and then you've got a 25-to-1 snow ratio. And that is a dry, powdery snow, very similar to what we saw earlier this week in far northwestern Arkansas. So as we move throughout the day today, these ratios are going to fluctuate. But for the river valley, we're talking more of a wet snow, not only because the surface temperatures will rise just a little bit more to borderline freezing in the river valley as we move throughout this event, but also because of the column of air above the surface. It does play a role in this. And if you look at the column of air above the surface, it is also borderline freezing. So that's why we're talking more of a wet snow in areas along and south of Interstate 40, at least initially. Now, northwest Arkansas, the temperatures will start dropping off again as the snow moves in. So we're talking more of a 10-to-1, a true 10-to-1 ratio, maybe more towards 12-to-1 as we move throughout the overnight hours, because temperatures will be dropping off to about 28, 27 degrees. And the same thing will happen in the river valley, but initially, as this big flakes are flying in the river valley right now, we're talking more of a 7-to-1 ratio. So again, that's what we're talking about with snow to liquid ratios. It's always about 1 inch of water. How much snow can you eke out of that 1 inch of water? And the warmer the temperatures, the less snow you can eke out from that water. And that's why it's very important to look at the sources for the snowfall maps, because the snowfall maps that you see always assume a 10-to-1 ratio, and they never account for potential melting, compaction, which is all that snow as it piles up. It kind of makes things heat up a little bit so it can melt from compaction. So there's a lot of different things that go into play here, and that's why snow depth is always going to be the best way to determine how much snow you actually see throughout an event. So hopefully that gives you a much better idea of what we're looking at in terms of snow ratios, and that's kind of what we mean when we're talking about snow ratios. Well, we did dig into ensembles with the system throughout the forecasting process, but I mean, we can look at that as well. We can look into that as well. But we did use the ensembles. I mean, we did. Now, a lot of other people did not. A lot of other people just showed you one deterministic model, which is just one model run. It's like the slot machine, like Dan was talking about yesterday. Ching, 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 ching. Cherry, cherry, cherry. Oh, cherry, cherry 7. Ah, that model didn't work out. Oh, cherry, cherry, cherry again. All right, jackpot. It's going to keep going back and forth. Ensembles, it's like moving that slot machine down 50 times at one time. And so you got a bunch of different scenarios, and then we're taking the average of all those slot machine rolls. And that's why it's much better than deterministic models. And in our forecasting process, James, we did use ensembles. Now, at this point, the ensembles to me they're not as useful anymore, because now we're here at the event. And now it's more of, okay, how is this going to evolve throughout the day today? Now we're doing what we call nowcasting. It's literally what's happening right now. So yeah, absolutely, Seth. Thank you so much for asking that question. It's a good question. It's a really good question, because it is very important with these type of events and with forecasting winter weather. You have to consider what the snow to liquid ratio is going to be, because it does make a difference. Let's see here. Oh man, David. Yes, it's going to be the perfect snow for building a snowman, because it's that wet snow, very easy to pack together, right? Great for snowball fighting, great for sledding down the hills. This is going to be a great snow for building snowmen. So don't you worry, you're going to be able to do that. Let's go back to Waldron. I just want to see. I mean, it is piling up in Waldron. Let me get my mug out of the way here so you guys can see that. Woo! Winter Wonderland, baby. I love it. So yeah, it's coming down in Waldron right now. That is for sure. Is it coming down in Fort Smith? I bet it is. Oh yeah, it's coming down. I'm going to adjust these cameras a little bit, by the way, so we can kind of get a better view of everything. That is a Winter Wonderland in the River Valley. So we're starting to see that snow inch its way in, and it's going to keep coming down, especially in the River Valley. Let me go back to Waldron here. Just because Waldron, you can actually see the snow accumulating right now. Snowflakes in the rest area near Van Buren. So here we go. Van Buren. I know we had a couple folks that were asking about Van Buren. Here it comes. Starting to come down where you are. Man, it is coming down hard in Waldron. Look at those flakes, too. Those are some big-time flakes in Waldron. Big-time flakes. Man, oh, man. And it's coming straight down, too. It's not blowing around in the wind because there's no wind at all. So, yeah, it is piling up quickly there in Waldron. I want to go here. I'm adjusting the cameras behind the scenes, so just bear with me here. I'm going to Fort Smith Public Library. Oh, man, it is coming down at Fort Smith. Woo, boy. Let's go to Fort Smith. Let's go back to Fort Smith here so you can see what's going on there. Look at Fort Smith. Big time snowflakes there. Big time snowflakes in Fort Smith. So it's starting to come down. Snowing in Boonville. Coming down in Crawford County, Van Buren. I dare you to come sledding. Come to sled down my driveway. 45-degree angle. If I'm living dangerously, Mandy, maybe. If I'm living dangerously, man, that sounds like one of those like double black diamonds that you see when you go out to the ski resort. That's exactly what it is. It's like those double black diamonds. That's crazy. That might be the place to go if you want some extreme sledding. Billy, what is the best sled on this to sled with? Billy, you know what? I actually don't know. I actually do not know the answer to that question. If there's anybody in the comments that knows, maybe some sled experts out there that can help Billy out with this question, that would be great. I actually do not know what the best sled is, Billy. I just kind of get those generic ones at Walmart, like those ones that are, you can buy for like $10 and they're plastic and those do just fine. But I know some people they go all out. They got like tubes. I mean, they've got like actual sleds where you're like sitting, belly down, like a classic sled. So yeah, here's some folks that are asking about, who are giving you some answers. Tractor tire tubes, spray cooking oil on the bottom of the sled, said Zach. So yeah, a little National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation right there. Anyone wondering what the best sled is? Watch Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Kinsey, literally at the same time as me. Literally at the same time. Yep, everybody had the same exact. See, this is why I love our community so much. This is why I love you guys, because we're literally on the same wavelength. Like, I was thinking about that, and then immediately the comments come up. It's like, just like that. That's hilarious. Rena is saying water tubes. That's exactly what I was thinking, too. I see people like with straight up like water tubes that they take out to the lake, and they go out there and start sledding. Still not snowing in Hot Springs, says Jennifer. So that will change. Just you wait, Jennifer. It's coming because you're going to start getting some of that evaporative cooling, and it'll eventually reach the ground, and then it's going to just start dumping buckets of snow where you are. Don't you worry. Let's see here. Dang it, I can't see that. I think that's some emojis. Michael says, bingo. Love that. Car hood, says Hannah. Wow. Okay, a car hood. That's a bit of a different one right there. I like it. Chris, speaking from personal experience, upside down picnic tables are no good. So, yeah. Looks like, Chris, that you had an experience in the past that you're just letting people know about right there. So I do appreciate that. They used to sell a metal saucer when we were kids. Those things flew and didn't break easily. So nice and durable as well. I like that. Durability does matter when it comes to those sleds. So that's a good little comment right there. Sorry if you've already covered this, but what's your opinion about XNA canceling flights tomorrow, specifically in the 1 p.m. range? So, Shannon, I actually think flights will be okay tomorrow. The reason why is because they're going to warm up that runway, and that's going to be like the first area that's going to see improvement, right? It's going to be at the airport. So it's going to happen like as soon as the snow ends. Now, as the snow is falling, bit of a different story. It's a struggle to get, those flights off. But after the snow has passed through the area, and especially as it starts slowing down, they can warm up that runway and they can get the flights going again. So 1 p.m., there might be some lingering snow showers at XNA, but I think flights will actually be fine by tomorrow afternoon. And I do have some confidence in that. So hopefully that answered your question right there. Thank you so much for asking that. Okay, we got a lot of good comments here. Satellite dish, says Jim. I love your profile picture, by the way. I was actually watching Winnie the Pooh when I was on break. I love Winnie the Pooh. That's like my favorite cartoon series. It's just so wholesome. Little pools from Dollar General. Anyone ever try that? I have not. That is another. It's another one right there. Some folks giving some unorthodox answers. I like it. Trash bags are awesome, says Justin. All right. No need to get a sled. Just take the trash bag out there. I love it. Let's see here. Kiddie pools work all right if you can turn it. That's a good point right there, because I bet they do not have a lot of turn power. What time for Huntsville? So, Brendan, probably within the next couple of hours or so. We're thinking after 1 o'clock in the Huntsville area. It'll be a little while before it gets to you. Right now, it's just reaching the River Valley. You might get some flurries before that time frame, but in terms of impacts, I think that's going to be happening later on today in the Huntsville area. Let's see here. I live out by Magic Springs and Hot Springs. I work at Walmart on Central. Should I call off from work? Well, Jennifer, yeah, and she says she doesn't have very good power steering. I don't know what time you get on and off work. I will say that in Hot Springs, you're a little bit farther south. You're a little bit out of our weather coverage area, but I know for a fact that Hot Springs could get absolutely hammered by this system. And so I never want to say that you should or shouldn't do things, but it will be pretty rough on the roads out there in Hot Springs, I think, today. If you don't have a good vehicle, safety first. That's what I always say, safety first. You don't want to risk your life and stuff like that and everything. So, again, safety first. It is going to be pretty dicey, so it might be a good idea to maybe go ahead and call in and see what they're saying as well. But it could be a little bit dicey out there in the Hot Springs area. Thank you for asking that question, by the way. I really do appreciate that. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Living around a couple of miles from X&A, what's the verdict on snowfall here? I saw 3 to 5 inches, but that's still correct. So, yes, so that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with on this system. Here's the snowfall map again. I adjusted this about an hour ago. I might need to adjust it again. Here's the deal, and I wanna point this out too. I've been updating this a lot throughout the morning, and I've seen some comments from folks saying, "Well, you know, this resource is forecasting a lot more. You know, why did you guys take so long to up in my place and stuff like that when it's been showing it?" Here's the deal, folks. I always am under the opinion that, you know, we should be careful about forecasting stuff. And what I mean by that is we need to be patient. We need to just keep an eye on those trends, and we need to prepare for winter weather regardless. That's the thing. And I say, you know, with the winter storm warning issued for the entire area, you should be prepared no matter what. And so if it does overproduce, that's a little bit of bonus snow right there, but you're prepared for it. You're prepared for it. Again, we've uptrended the snowfall totals. I know some folks have been saying, you know, why did it take so long? It took so long because we needed to keep an eye on trends. We needed to keep an eye on nowcasting because there's so many events in the past that have burnt us. You know, Sean said it best. Winter weather is the hardest to predict, in my opinion. And sometimes sleet can eat away at your totals. Sometimes a dry slot can eat away at your totals, which it still could in Northwest Arkansas. Here's the deal. River Valley is getting it right now, and the River Valley will continue to get it. For Northwest Arkansas, it's all about that dry slot. We still have to keep an eye on that because that could impact the snowfall totals along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. So we need to keep an eye on that. So will this be a type of snow that will knock down power lines and trees? So not necessarily knocking down power lines, Brendan, but it could accumulate on power lines. That wet snow does tend to pile up on power lines sometimes. And we saw it a couple years ago with that snowstorm in Northwest Arkansas, January 2023. That was a bad system because it caused a lot of power outage issues in Fayetteville because a lot of that snow stacked up on those power lines and caused a lot of power flashes. So it won't knock down stuff, but there could be some power issues south of Interstate 40. How do you expect the roads to look on Saturday? We have to travel to Branson for my daughter's cheer competition. Just curious if I'll need to hire a sled dog team. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, for asking that question. The roads will be improved by the time we get to Saturday afternoon for sure. Now, there is some concerns about refreezing. I always have that concern when snow comes to the area because you get those overnight lows that are well into the teens and 20s, and then sometimes you can see some refreezing issues. You can see some slick spots across the roadway. So Saturday morning could be dicey. Saturday afternoon should be much better. But then you get into Saturday night to Sunday morning, there could be some refreezing issues. Maybe not as bad, though, as what could happen Friday night and Saturday. I will say that. Saturday morning will be a lot worse than Saturday night for sure. Yeah, they'll probably have the main roads clear by then, and then you should be good. Further north you go, the better the roads. Missouri does wonderful work on their road system, and they do that, Sean. Thing is, though, that when you go through the higher terrain of northwest Arkansas, that can cause some issues. So if you're going through the higher terrain of NWA, that can sometimes cause some issues there. What can destroy a dry slot? Well, Shannon, a lot of energy, and high moisture content as well. Now, here's the deal. We do have a lot of energy. That is for sure. And if that energy continues to kick in, if the system continues to take the correct track, that dry slot will lift off to the north and west. Regardless, I still think the dry slot is going to eat away a little bit at the snow in northwest Arkansas. But it looks like there's so much energy that we're going to overcome that, and we're going to see a significant amount of snow up and down the I-49 and Interstate 40 corridors. That's what it looks like right now, but there's still a lot of time for that to change. But you can see a little bit of that dry air working its way towards Oklahoma City, but also some snow that's filling in. So a lot of things that we're watching very closely right there. So we'll keep a close eye on it, let you know about the latest details. But there's that current position of the dry slot. You can even see it here on water vapor as well. I'm going to move this out of the way. Move out of the way. Thing. Be gone. Yeah, there it is right there. That's a big dry slot. But we also have big time energy moving to the area. So we'll be keeping a close eye on it. So how long will it take to get to Mountain Pine, Arkansas? Because that's where I live. So Christian, you're outside of our weather coverage area. I believe you're in Garland County, just off to the north of Hot Springs. So you guys should be getting the snow pretty soon. Significant impacts probably a little bit later on today. So you should be getting the snow within the next hour or so, I think, Christian, looking at radar right now. In terms of impactful snow, that may take a little bit longer. But it does look like in your area you're going to be getting snow pretty soon. So thank you for asking the question, and thank you for tuning in as well out in Mountain Pine. We got you covered, man. How's it looking Monday afternoon? I have to take my dog Chip to the vet. Chip will be ready to rock and roll, Nikita. Chip will be ready to rock and roll. Monday afternoon should be great. No issues at all. Should be good to go Monday afternoon here in Northwest Arkansas. And tell Chip I said hi as well. And your new puppy, too. Tell them I both said hi. One thing I'm worried about is Monday morning when classes start. So similar story to what I was just saying to Nikita, Mandy. I think Monday morning will be fine. Monday morning should be good. Roadways should be clear. Plenty of melting expected with temperatures in the 40s. I think you should be good to go there. Let's see here. What time for Farmington? I think within the next hour and a half or so, Deborah. Northwest Arkansas, it's going to take a little bit longer. It's not doing anything right now in Mountain Pine, Arkansas. It's not doing anything right now, Christian, but it will. I promise you that. It will. You guys are going to get a good amount of snow there in Mountain Pine. Sometimes these systems, Christian, they take a while to evolve. They will take a long time to evolve, and that's why winter weather is such a challenging forecast. It's not like severe weather where things just kind of crank up. When it comes to winter weather, it's a slow process, and that's why it's such a challenge. Let's see here. When is it starting to Fayetteville? Very similar to the Farmington question, Lindsay. Around within the next hour or so, I would say. Maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see. Onset of the precipitation should be after 1 o'clock, I think. Just looking at current radar. But, man, that is a big-time dry slot. That is a big-time dry slot. Let's go ahead and look at some of the cameras again. I mean, Waldron. Waldron might be the big winner here, folks. I mean, Waldron is cooking with gas right now. It is snowing hard in Waldron. So if you're living in Waldron, enjoy, because it is coming down big-time flakes. Not quite gorilla flakes yet, but that will probably change. That will probably change. It's snowing. Wing, Arkansas, says Sarah. Thank you so much for the report right there. Got some snow out there in Wing. Let's see here. My daughter will be driving back to Fayetteville on Saturday. How will the roads be looking that afternoon? Driving from Dallas, and it's been snowing since 8 a.m. Nancy, it could be a little bit dicey Saturday morning. I do think the road crews are going to be working pretty hard Friday afternoon. Thing is that the farther north she goes, the more impact she may run into, especially going through southeast Oklahoma into western Arkansas. Could be a little bit dicey in those spots. But Saturday afternoon should be better. Sunday I think will be in great shape for sure. But Saturday afternoon, it will be better. She just needs to take it nice and slow just in case. I do think with the temperatures warming up so quickly that there will be a good amount of melting. Let's see here. Okay, do you think X and A is closer to 2 to 4 or 3 to 5? So, Anna, good question. Here's the deal. I'm going to go to the snowfall map for you. I'm going to zoom in here into X and A. So I have X and A in the 3 to 5 inch range. And I think the bulk of Northwest Arkansas is going to be in the 3 to 5 inch range. I really do think that. So most areas will be in the 3 to 5 inch range. It's just like this small area in Northeast Oklahoma, Southwest Missouri, far northwestern Arkansas. I'm talking far northwestern Arkansas. These areas I'm a little bit more concerned about that dry slot, so I went with lesser snowfall there. But for X and A, I lean more towards 3 to 5 just because you're a little bit farther south and east. Probably more towards that 3-inch amount, right? But if there's a heavy band of snow, here's the deal. If there's a heavy band of snow, then you're starting to talk about 4 to 5 inches and more. But the farther south and east you go, the more likely you are to run into those higher snowfall totals that could be over 5 inches. And then even farther south into the river valley, well, we're cooking with 6 to 8 inches with maybe locally higher amounts. I mean, Waldron right now is getting it. And it's gonna keep ramping up as we move throughout the rest of the day today. Let's look at the Fort Smith camera. Let's see oh my goodness. It's accumulated in Fort Smith. It's piling up. Look at the parking lot. Look at the roads. Road conditions starting to get a little bit dicey there in Fort Smith for sure. You boy. That is a lot of snow. It is coming down in sheets in Fort Smith. What about Mount Magazine? Mount Magazine should be cooking right now. Now you can see the snow right there. Look at the snow off the side of the mountain too. That little foggy area. That is heavy snow that is falling there in the valley. So snow starting to fall over Mount Magazine. Let's just look at it. Just cause Springdale, nothing yet. Nothing in Northwest Arkansas yet, but that will change later on today. There's Garfield. That was from the snow earlier. Let's look at Mountainburg. Has Mountainburg got any snow right now? Nope, no snow in Mountainburg, but that will change pretty soon. Yeah, let's look at some iDrive Arkansas cameras. Why not? Because I think iDrive Arkansas is going to have some good views. We'll be able to see the road conditions too. Looks like snowy roads are already starting to be reported, though, along Highway 71 south of Fort Smith. Oh, man. Yeah, roads are getting bad, folks. Roads are getting bad. Let me go here to iDrive Arkansas. But it's starting to get a little bit rough out there, as you can see, on the roads. So snow is accumulating quickly along Interstate 540. This is near Zito Street. Yeah, right now things are starting to get a little bit dicey in the River Valley. So if you're driving along I-540, if you're driving near the Fort Smith area, better be sure you're taking it nice and easy. Go slow. Don't be going too fast. I see a couple of these people going pretty fast. And let me tell you, that scares me. That scares me because, you get a little bit too confident on these roads. And what happens is you just slip a little bit. You overcorrect just a little bit. And you're off the road. It's better to take it nice and easy, better to take it nice and slow and get to where you're going safely rather than going fast. So hopefully these people just look like they're going much faster than what they actually are. But it is imperative that you take it nice and easy on the roads because it's starting to get a little bit dicey in the river valley. It will only get worse as we move throughout the next several hours. So here's iDriveArkansas.com, by the way. So you can see this blue shaded area. That's snow-covered roads along Highway 71. A little bit farther south towards Waldron. Highway 71 also reporting some snow. Ice patches near Highway 270 in Mount Ida pointing towards Hot Springs. So you're starting to see snow-covered roadways in these spots right now. So we're going to start seeing these road conditions rapidly deteriorate as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours. White roads on 265 and 71 in Fayetteville because the road's pre-treated. That's funny. I mean, yeah, they're basically dropping down that salt right there. They're getting ready to rock and roll, and I'm glad they got it done early. Look at this scene. This is near Rogers and Grand Avenue in Fort Smith along Interstate 540. Even more snow showing up there. I'll get my mug out of the way. Wow. It's piling up fast, folks. It's piling up fast. Let's take a look at the temperatures real quick. I'm interested to see if it's starting to warm up in Northwest Arkansas. I bet it is because of that southerly wind. 32, told you. So Northwest Arkansas might be some sleet initially. And the reason why there might be some sleet initially is because of these southerly winds. You see these southerly winds that are moving in? So unlike the River Valley that has more of an easterly wind, more of an easterly component to the wind, Northwest Arkansas, it's due south. And it's starting to move at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it will keep warming up in Fayetteville. It will get above freezing, I think, in Fayetteville. River Valley, probably not going to be the case. It's 28 degrees in Fort Smith, and it'll probably stay below freezing. But again, it's just classic Northwest Arkansas. Southerly winds out ahead of the precipitation, and that means that it will start off likely as a sleet snow mixture. My goodness. It is coming down hard in the River Valley. Look at that. Visibility is getting reduced a little bit, and those are some fat flakes right now. Those are some fat flakes. So what time are you traveling to Bigsby, Doreen? Because in the morning, depending on what time you're leaving, it could be rough, and it will likely be rough all day tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning, you might run into some pretty rough road conditions. I'm not going to lie. Tomorrow afternoon, it might get a little bit better, but it's not really going to improve a whole lot because temperatures will be right around freezing. Saturday, that's when it's going to be much better, especially during the afternoon hours. Does the southerly wind not pick up what is coming from the River Valley where it's cold? Curious how that works. So the River Valley, think of the River Valley, Bryce. Remember, the Ouachita Mountains flow east to west. One of the, I think it's the only mountain range in North America that has the mountains that flow east to west. So it is a unique geographical feature. And I'm going to go back to the winds here. Here's the deal about the Ouachita Mountains. It's almost like a wind tunnel, right? It forces the winds to have more of an easterly component automatically. And this has always been my theory about the River Valley and why the River Valley tends to get more tornadoes too, because you do have this more easterly component to the wind here. And as you can see, the same thing is happening right through the River Valley. But here in Northwest Arkansas, that wind shifts back to the south, across the Boston Mountains. So you don't get that easterly wind because you got the Ouachitas down here, southerly winds. Then there's the valley right there, easterly winds. And then you get into Northwest Arkansas, and it's southerly winds again because the wind is going up over the mountain. Those southerly winds are going up and over the Boston Mountains and blowing due south. And so when a system is coming in from the southwest like this, it's forcing the winds to push out of the south, and it's going up and over those mountains into Northwest Arkansas, warming up those temperatures. So hopefully that answered your question. Again, the River Valley, more of an easterly wind more of an easterly component to the wind because of the Boston Mountains to the north and the Ouachita Mountains to the south. So it almost acts like a wind tunnel. Let's see here. What time will it start snowing in Salem Springs? Lisa, within the next hour and a half or two, but it could start off as a snow-sleet mixture. It could start off as a snow-sleet mixture based on what we're seeing right now. Looks like that snow, though, is starting to knock on the doorstep of Northwest Arkansas. Here's the thing, though. We still have to have some evaporative cooling take place. We still have to see if that snow can start reaching the ground. So initially, even though the snow looks like it's going to be over northwest Arkansas, it may not reach the ground to start. And that's because we need that atmosphere to get saturated just a little bit more. So maybe a little while for northwest Arkansas, maybe within the next hour or two. Let's see here. Nice. I never knew that. Learned something new today. Didn't think about elevation influencing it. And yeah, Bryce, absolutely. I think you asked a really, really good question there because it is interesting. It's a unique geographical feature. It's why it's such a challenge to forecast anything around here. It doesn't even have to be winter weather. It can be severe weather. But yeah, thank you for asking the question. And yeah, the mountains, Boston Mountains, Washita Mountains, it forces that wind to blow out of the east in the river valley a lot of the times. If you take your time, check the Missouri Department of Transportation website. The issues are probably going to be getting out of Arkansas. So yeah, Missouri might get some impacts too, especially in southern Missouri, like east of Branson. Could be some big problems there too. So that's a good mention right there by Anna. Been gone for 15 minutes, and now we're looking at a possible sleet mix snow first. Boo! I'll check back in 15 minutes again. So Heather's going back and forth. She's like, okay, I'm gonna see if you're giving me the correct information right now, Josh. I need more of that snow. And maybe it does start off as snow in northwest Arkansas, and we don't get any sleet at all. But with the southerly winds, I have a few alarm bells going off in my head. My goodness gracious, though, Waldron is cooking. Waldron is cooking with gas with the snow. That is a good amount of snow falling in Waldron right now. Same deal in Fort Smith. Uh-oh. Hold on. I think we got an accident that's occurring here in the River Valley. Hold on. We're seeing a big slowdown right now, folks, on Interstate 540. It looks like there's a car on the side of the road. Oh, man, they are falling way too close to each other. Look at those two cars. They are falling way too close to each other. This guy needs to back off. He is way too close to this car. Oh, my goodness. That was scary. Folks, you got to be careful. You've got to take your time. That could have been a bad accident there. This truck is scaring me, man. That is scary stuff. So there's a slowdown going on right now. I wonder if there's an accident. This is facing northbound, so we can try to go to a camera a little bit farther to the north. This is the Kelly Highway camera. Let's actually go to Grand Avenue. Let's see what's going on there. Hopefully it loads up. Let's see here. Okay, not seeing any accident there, but I am seeing traffic slow down here at Rogers Avenue and exit 8. There's something going on up there, I think. There has to be because there's a big slowdown here. See how these cars are getting backed up now? Traffic is starting to get to a standstill. I think we might have something going on, and that is the northbound lane of I-540. Let me just make sure that's northbound and to make sure I'm getting my directions correct. I think that's 90% sure that's northbound. Yeah, that's got to be northbound. So if you're traveling northbound along I-540, folks, might be a little incident going on here near Rogers and Grand Avenue, or at the very least a slowdown. So got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy here on the interstates because we are seeing snow-covered roadways. And this is what's going to happen in northwest Arkansas as well later on today into the evening hours. I mean, it's going to go from 0 to 100. You're going to look, and you're going to be like, okay, there's nothing. I'm fine. I'm good. Then you get out on the roads, and it's rapidly deteriorating really quickly. So as you can see in the River Valley right now, they're experiencing that, and it's going to keep getting worse as we move throughout the next few hours or so. Let's see here. So yeah, Interstate 540 northbound right now. Getting a little bit dicey. Brendan asked, do you prefer severe weather or winter weather? So here's the deal, Brendan. Severe weather, I mean, I don't like severe weather or winter weather, right? I don't want them to occur in northwest Arkansas or the River Valley, obviously. But I do prefer forecasting severe weather because severe weather is a lot easier to forecast, in my opinion. I know more about it too, honestly, because I've lived in Arkansas my whole life, so I've studied severe weather for a long time. But also it occurs much faster. The processes behind severe weather are much faster than winter weather. winter weather things take a long time to get going, and that can be a challenge. It can make you want to pull your hair out because sometimes it doesn't pan out the way you think it does. So winter weather is a challenge, especially in this part of the country, especially in this part of the country. So in terms of forecasting, I do prefer severe weather for sure. Slow way down. Do not switch lanes unless necessary. Keep a far distance from the vehicle in front of you. Just because it looks wet doesn't mean the conditions are the same as rain. This is slush and slick. And you're exactly right, Heather. And man, this is a big slowdown right now. There's got to be something going on up there. Of course, I can't see because the visibility is bad. There's got to be something going on in this lane. I'm going to keep an eye on iDrive Arkansas, see if there's any incident report. But there's a pretty significant slowdown going on right now. Let's go here to Grand Avenue's camera. People going really slowly there. I mean, just Arkansas River Bridge is probably snowing mess. Woo! Look at the Arkansas River Bridge right now. That is a foggy scene and snow accumulating on the bridge too. Bridge is going to be a bit of a challenge to get over as well because the bridges and overpasses have a tendency to accumulate a little bit quicker than other roadways. There's another look at Interstate 540 as you get onto the bridge. Let's go a little bit farther north here. Let's go towards the US 64 intersection. Yeah, folks, River Valley's getting hammered right now. There's no doubt about it. There's another camera, I think, that I like. This one, yeah, right down here, just south of Waldron. Look at this. Woo! This is Highway 71 north of Y City. Look at this camera right here. Man, that is a winter wonderland, and that is a snow-covered road. So Y City area, Southern Scott County getting hammered right now with snow. Getting absolutely hammered with snow. Got to take it nice and easy there, folks. Got to take it nice and easy. My goodness. Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. Josh, I thank you for continuing to bring people reports and information. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, man. I just always want to bring as much positive energy as possible. First of all, it's the most important thing to me is to make sure we're approaching everything with a positive outlook. Obviously, if there's severe weather and significant winter weather, we have to have a certain air of seriousness about it. I also just want to make sure people are happy and make sure that that people are having a good time and make the weather as engaging as possible. I can admit sometimes the weather can be a little bit boring, especially when it's just sunny all the time. But this weather's exciting. This weather's fun, and I know a lot of folks are excited about it. Regular grocery shopping was done Monday. Today we are snuggling in, and we'll have a big pot of chili on the stove at 2. That just sounds like the most amazing time, Jesse. So you guys have a wonderful time. Enjoy it. Enjoy the snow. Get out there, sled in it, make some snowmen, and just have a great time and enjoy that chili. Just another Arkansas driver faces snowy roads. That is for sure, James. Where's this camera view? So the one we're looking at right now is Highway 71 near Y City. Let me confirm. Yep, Highway 71 near Y City. So this is a camera view in southern Scott County, far southern portions of our weather coverage area. So they've been experiencing the most snow so far, for sure. Can I make it to Kansas City tomorrow? Kelly, it's going to be a little bit rough, especially during the morning hours. The afternoon, it will get a little bit better, but there will be quite a bit of snow in portions of southwest Missouri as well if trends continue. I'm watching this dry slot very closely, folks. This is the thing about winter weather. I mean, it is literally a waiting process. I mean, I'm looking at satellite radar right now. I am looking at satellite radar, and I just see that dry slot right there, and it just makes me pause a little bit. But it does look like the system is taking a northerly track, a little bit more of a northerly track, so maybe the dry slot doesn't line up with as much as northwest Arkansas. We're going to find out throughout the day and during the overnight hours tonight. But that's a lot of energy, folks. That is a lot of energy. Let's see here. Okay, checked Waze. Doesn't show any wrecks, but there's a car stopped on the road near the Kelly Highway. Okay. Thank you so much for that report, Aaron. That really does help because I was wondering if there was an accident or maybe somebody was stopped. Because look at that slowdown that's going on. I mean, people are slowing down significantly, not only in the northbound lanes, but also in the southbound lanes. So, Aaron, thank you so much for that report. It looks like, yeah, maybe a stopped vehicle that's slowing down traffic at this time along Interstate 540 near Rogers and Grand Avenue and near the Kelly Highway area. So this is going to be near exit 8 and 9 as you get towards the Arkansas River Bridge traveling northbound. Southbound lanes also slowing down at this time. Yeah, in a nutshell, Hannah, it's basically the dry slot is an area of dry air associated with low pressure, typically very close to the center of low pressure that has a lot of dry air. It's got a lot of dry air, eats away at the moisture. It kind of goes right through the center of the precipitation shield, and it usually, for some reason, loves to line up exactly with Northwest Arkansas. I don't get it. I do not get it. Just measured 2 inches of snow here so far in Norman, Oklahoma. So, Thomas, great report right there. Thank you so much. Thomas getting some snow there just off to the south of Oklahoma City in Norman. Looks like some dry air trying to make its way towards OKC right now, Thomas. Let me know if the snow is starting to slow down a little bit. I'm looking on satellite radar. I see some dry air making its way in to Oklahoma City. Let me know if the snow has slowed down just a little bit or if it's starting to slow down. Probably hasn't slowed down significantly yet, but it might in a few moments. Let's see here. Y'all going to be live on and off throughout the majority of the day with coverage? Yes, we will, Heather. Dan will be here in about an hour or so. Zach Gilday will be here in studio. Peyton Langford's actually in the River Valley right now. Yeah, we're going to have full team coverage. We're going to have everybody, all hands on deck. I'm going to be spending the night down here in Fayetteville. And that way I can get into work tomorrow morning so I can serve you guys and let you know about what's going on so we can relieve Dan and Zach as they're going to be working hard tonight. Yeah, big time travel problems right now, Heather. Big time travel problems in the River Valley. I saw 2 snowflakes here in Mulberry. That's all we're going to get. Well, Jeremy, if that's all you get there, I'll run 2 miles as well. But I don't think that'll happen. I think you're about to get quite a bit of snow there in Mulberry. I think it's about to ramp up pretty soon. So just get ready. It's coming. What time should this all hit Rogers? Within the next hour or so, Ivan, I think, based off of radar. Now, here's the deal. We'll actually reach the ground within the next hour or so. That remains to be seen. Probably within the next hour and a half to 2 hours, really. Don't be surprised, though, Ivan, if this does not start off as snow in Northwest Arkansas. Again, you got this southerly component to the wind, and that can sometimes foster sleet potential. Can we see the radar? Of course. So here's a look at Mega Doppler right now. You can see the heaviest snowfall currently located in the River Valley as expected. Moving right into Fort Smith, Waldron getting hammered. Boonville, Interstate 540, Highway 71, I-40, getting a significant amount of snow. Starting to sneak into southwestern Washington County. Is this reaching the ground right now? More than likely not, but it will pretty soon as it lifts off to the north and east. Now, notice how heavy the precipitation is in and around Fort Smith compared to this precipitation that's moving into northwest Arkansas. So that is a trend to watch there, but this band of heavier snowfall is going to continue to lift off to the north and east. So if you live in Newton County, Boone County, this is moving towards you right now as well. So just be ready. It's starting to envelop the area. But I'm keeping an eye on satellite radar as well right now. I see the dry air again moving through there. Okay, I think we've got an accident, folks. I think we've got an accident on Interstate 540. They moved the camera here near Grand Avenue. You can see there's a car on the side of the road. Traffic is backed up significantly. This is becoming a mess. And we're watching it in real time right now. We're watching it in real time. This is a mess along I-540. So if you're in the River Valley right now, this might get a little bit dicey. This might get a little bit dicey because there's a heavy amount of snow going on right now. You can see it accumulated on the roadways. There's been this backup that's been going on for the last 20 minutes or so, and now it's really starting to get bad. Let's look at another camera. Again, this is near Grand and Rogers Avenue. So this is near exit 8 and 9 in the River Valley. Here's the Kelly Highway. You see traffic flowing slowly there. Let's go towards this other camera here. This is Grand Avenue's camera. Yeah, there's a slowdown right there. People are slowing down, going really slow now. So it must be getting really slick. Look at the visibilities too. The visibility is being reduced not because of the wind, but because of how heavy the snow is at this time. It's very heavy snowfall. Here's Phoenix Avenue. Let's see if there's any slowdown here. So no slowdown near Phoenix Avenue, but man, the roads are a mess. Let's get back to this Rogers Avenue camera. Because, yeah, that's a big time slowdown. It is reaching the ground in southwest northwest Arkansas near Stickler. It's starting to accumulate on bare ground, dirt roads, and elevated surfaces. Okay, thank you so much for that report. So, starting to get some reports in Stickler of some light snow and even some accumulation as well. So, thank you for that report right there in Stickler. That definitely helps. That definitely helps us in terms of kind of keeping an eye on where exactly impacts are going to be felt. Let's see here. Any more questions? We don't get excited until the snow gets past the tunnel. It looks like it's getting closer. Jeremy asking about thunder snow potential. So, Jeremy, I don't think with this system, the reason why is because we don't have any instability to work with. We're not having convective banding. It favors more mesoscale banding, which can enhance your snowfall rates for sure. But thunder snow, don't think that's going to be the case with this particular storm system. Good question. I know it's something that we always talk about and think about, but not going to be the case with this particular system just because we don't have any instability to work with, and we tend to favor more mesoscale banding with a system like this. Good question. Where is this at? So this is in the River Valley. This is along Interstate 540 near Grand and Rogers Avenue, exit 8 and 9 near Fort Smith. So that's where this camera is currently located right now, Alexis. Hopefully that answers your questions right now. Yeah, but I see some more folks asking about where this is. So again, River Valley, Interstate 540, exit 8 and 9. Now they're zooming in the cameras. I can't control these cameras. This is all controlled by the Arkansas Department of Transportation. They zoomed in on this truck that is moving really slowly right now in the left lane. Here it is. iDrive says accident near exit 3 on 540 South. Okay, thank you for that report. So that's going to be a little bit farther south compared to this camera. So I'm going to refresh this page here. Okay, there's the accident that you were just talking about. Yep, and it's in the southbound lane, interestingly enough. And there's the accident. People sliding off the roads. People going too fast. I mean, look at the direction of the truck. And here's the deal. I know that they were going too fast because I've had this happen to me before. I'm speaking from personal experience. When I was younger, and it wasn't in snow, but it was in rain, I was traveling along I-49 through the Boston Mountains, and I was going too fast because I wanted to make it to a storm chase. I was driving through blinding rain, blinding wind. I was going way too fast for the conditions, and I started hydroplaning. I didn't know how to react with the hydroplaning. I braked, and my car flipped this way, flipped back this way. So anytime you see somebody that's flipped back that way, most of the time it means they went too fast. And so, folks, it's imperative that you take it easy on the roadways because these are some slick conditions that are going on in the River Valley. These are some really slick conditions right now, and we're starting to see some accidents. Let me pull up that incident report. I'm going to get back to this accident, I promise you. This is southbound along Interstate 540 near exit 3 in Van Buren. And that accident was reported just a few moments ago. That's in the southbound lane. So again, if you're traveling I-540 southbound near exit 3, there's an accident on the side of the road. It looks like it's a one-vehicle accident, but it is starting to get a little bit dicey. Okay, snowing here in Winslow. So we're starting to get some snow reports in southern Washington County. I already had a report out of Stickler as well. So this is knocking on the doorstep of northwest Arkansas now. So coming in right around 1 o'clock in NWA. Let's look at the Waldron camera real quick. My goodness, it is just piling up in Waldron. It's just piling up. Waldron might be the big winner of this system. We'll see. There's Mount Magazine. That's about what I expected at this point. It's coming down there too. I bet it's coming down in Mountainburg. Yep. Coming down in Mountainburg now. Here it comes, Northwest Arkansas. It's getting closer. Getting closer. Let's look at this Kessler Mountain camera. No flurries yet in Washington counties. Let's see here. Fort Smith, Miss Laura's cam. I bet it's just a winter wonderland. Yep. Man, that piles up quick. Man, that piles up quick. Look at the public. I mean, we started this live stream. There was nothing on this camera. Now it looks like a winter wonderland. Woo! Folks, you got to take it easy on these roads. I'll tell you. It's getting bad out there. It is. It's starting to get bad in the river valley. So we are starting to see that snow really ramp up over our weather coverage area. Yeah. Why couldn't this have come in on Christmas, says Josh. Why couldn't we have had a white Christmas? Brendan, I know. We don't have the Huntsville cameras up still. It stinks because it's such a good camera. It's such a good camera. I hope we can get that up very soon. I really want that camera to be up soon because it's so good. It'd be great for a system like this. So good. Let's see here. Just got a text from a couple of my buddies talking about some snow that they're seeing out in central Oklahoma. So I was just looking at that real quick. Is it going to start off as snow immediately, or will it be icy first in Northwest Arkansas? Here's the deal, Shayla. It just depends on the warm nose, if the southerly winds are really impacting things. I mean, I looked at the temperatures just a few moments ago. It's right around freezing at the surface. Of course, surface temperatures don't really matter, obviously, for precipitation type. It depends on what's going on above the surface. But it says 32 in Fayetteville right now. I'm going to cheat here and look at the 5-minute observations in Fayetteville to see if that's still the case. It's still 32. So here's the deal. I mean, if it starts precipitating, it's going to get colder again. So we'll have to keep an eye on these temperatures, but it's much colder than what the models were showing. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let's see here. There's another look at that accident that I was just talking about. Again, this is near exit 3 in the southbound lane. Big time mess starting to crank up in the river valley right now. Let's go a little bit farther south here. This is near Y City. Look at Highway 71. I mean, that right there, pretty. It's a very pretty scene, but that's also not a good. That's not a good scene if you're trying to drive through it. And as you can see, not a whole lot of folks are driving through it. I'm going to keep it on this camera just to see if there's anybody that tries to drive through this. I mean, look how it's piling up though on that bridge. That's the problem with this wet snow, is it just piles up on things, and it can pile up on power lines sometimes. Cause some issues with power. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. I haven't seen a single car yet on this road, and typically it has quite a few people around this time as well. So looks like people are staying off the roads now, and it's just going to keep getting worse as we move throughout the rest of the day today, and especially overnight tonight to tomorrow. That's the thing. The heaviest snow is expected later today at 6 p.m. through 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we've got plenty of time for this to keep piling up in the river valley. Now, Northwest Arkansas, again, it's a bit of a slower process right now, but Northwest Arkansas could see some significant snowfall totals too. Do you want to build a snowman? Said James. That's the only singing you'll get out of me, by the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little quick little song that I got there for you. Let's see here. Just looking to see if we're getting all the questions. I'm in Southern California. 70 degrees here. Dang it, Joyce. I'm jealous. I am very jealous right now. So enjoy those 70-degree temperatures. I am very jealous of you for sure. When it started here in Fort Smith, it started sticking immediately. I think the temperature was around 29 degrees. No surprise, Josh. No surprise. It's been so cold over the last several days. I've only seen one car on this camera in the last 3 minutes. That is crazy. People are being smart. There's the Kelly Highway. Big time slowdown there. People taking it easy. Rogers Avenue still. We just got this little backup that's going on here near Fort Smith. Snow ramping up now in Mulberry. Yeah, JD, that was the one car I was talking about. I saw that one car on the bridge. That was the only one we saw on that camera. I know this is outside your weather coverage area, but what time will this start showing up in Little Rock? So Casey or Cassie, I think your name's Cassie. Let me know if I said your name right, Cassie. Um, it's going to be coming in your area within the next, I would say, hour or so. There's a heavy band of snow moving your way, so it's not going to be much longer, Cassie. It's not going to be much longer in your area. So within the next 30 minutes to an hour, you're going to start experiencing some snow there in Little Rock. Let's see here. Remember, Mountain Dew is a great de-icer. Brian coming in here with some great tips and tricks. Mountain Dew is also great in my belly, Brian, especially a Mountain Dew Baja Blast Freezy, which I will probably get that after I'm done with work here. Are the kids being let out early from school? I know there are several schools that are letting out within the next 30 minutes, Candy Cane Girl. And I think that's a very smart move because based on what we're seeing in Fort Smith, this is getting pretty rough right now in the River Valley. Northwest Arkansas may get rough too. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this. Let's see here. Mount Ida is getting slick. A friend of mine said, I'm not surprised about that, Sarah, because there is a lot of snow moving through Montgomery County right now. Montgomery County is getting hammered. Let's see here. How much snow do you think Boone County area will see with it tracking north? So here's the latest snowfall accumulation map, Jacob. But looking at what's going on radar right now, this may need to be bumped up even more. For far northwestern Arkansas, 2 to 4 inches of snow. For the vast majority of NWA, 3 to 5 inches with higher amounts possible in the higher terrain of northwest Arkansas. Starting to lean more towards that 4 to 5 inch total. I'm going to be honest with you, looking at what's going on radar and what's going on in Fort Smith. Areas such as Waldron, Booneville, Big Cedar, Poto may see 6 to 8 inches with higher amounts in the higher terrain of the Ouachita Mountains, with 3 to 5 inches plus expected in Fort Smith as well, though that may need to be uptrended as well. And yeah, overnight lows are going to be cold over the next few days too. Generally in the middle to upper teens and lower 20s. But that's the latest snowfall map. Rubbing alcohol is a great de-icer, says Audra. Did not know that, actually. That's a nice little point right there. Rubbing alcohol. I might need to try that sometime. Let's see here. You and hoping for 5+ inches, says Jacob. I love that right there. You and Dan need to make Mountain Dew Baja Blast ice cream with snow. Yo! Daniel, that sounds great. We do need to try that out. My goodness. I'm going to have to ask Dan about that. I'm also going to have to ask all the people in Waldron to get outside and start making some snowmen. My goodness gracious. Look at Waldron right now. Woo! It is coming down. Now, there's a few Gorilla Flakes right there. I'm observing a couple of Gorilla Flakes. Man, beat your chest, Winter Storm. Gorilla Flakes right now in Waldron. My goodness, it is coming down. So I'm starting to lean towards those higher end totals, folks, especially in the River Valley. We know what's happening in the River Valley right now. The River Valley is getting hit pretty hard. Northwest Arkansas, we are continuing to watch these trends very closely. There is some dry air that it's still contending with in portions of Texas. Man, it's going to be kind of close in Northwest Arkansas. That is for sure. Brian loves his raccoons, man. Brian says bring in all the squirrels and raccoons. I think Brian wants to start a little nursery or something like that there. Or maybe some like little petting zoo. Now, here's the deal. You better tame those raccoons if you're going to start a petting zoo with them. Same thing with the squirrels. Cats should be nicer. But man, it looks like Brian's got a little sanctuary for all the critters out there. All the little critters out there going to be able to go to Brian in order to take shelter during the storm. Let's see here. Put half rubbing alcohol and half water in a spray bottle and just spray on your windshield. You can also keep it in your car because it won't freeze. Oh, that's a very good comment right there. So thank you for expanding on that. That's very interesting. I'm gonna have to try that out sometime. Let's see here. Listen, man, I can't tell the difference between cats and raccoons because you won't put up the graphic. I brought in all the neighborhood cats, but 35% of them are raccoons. I'm pretty sure. Brian, I'm sorry. I failed you. My graphic right now is down for that one, unfortunately. 35% of them are raccoons. I mean, here's the deal. Hey, Brian, but here's the deal. Sounds like the raccoons are fine. Sounds like they're being nice to you and the other cats there. So yeah, just make sure you're taming them right. Give them some good food. Make sure they got all their shots. Should be good to go, Brian. I think you got a little sanctuary going on there. So shout out to Brian, a lover of all raccoons and squirrels, their savior during this winter storm. I have 4 squirrels. They're pretty nice, actually. Nice, Lisa. That's fun. That's fun. I love that. I absolutely love that. Is it about to snow in San Lone? Phone just notified me now. I think it's getting close. It's getting close. We're going to be watching these WeatherBug Network cameras. Snow starting to show up on camera at exit 45. Okay, thank you for that comment. We're going to look at that. It's getting farther north, folks. Here's exit 45 right here. I'm going to pull up the camera. I know exactly what you're talking about. There it is. You can see the snow starting to fall. I'm going to move my mug out of the way. So that is, and just to give you context on where that is right here. So just off to the west of Winslow, near the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Actually, north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Folks, it's north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. It's getting close to northwest Arkansas. And that is all snow. That is all snow that we're seeing. No sleet mixed in at all. So that is that's important to observe. And you're starting to see some snow-covered roadways, man. That person needs to slow down. I get it. There's not a whole lot on the roads yet, but they just need to slow down. Looks like an accident here. This is along Highway 59, a big trouble spot north of Van Buren. Crawford County, all lanes impacted. It says in the northbound lane, that's the travel direction where that accident occurred, about 1.7 miles north of Interstate 40 and about 0.2 of a mile north of Van Buren. So we're starting to see more accidents occur in the River Valley. So we got to keep an eye on that there. Let's go to Mountainburg here. Let's see what the camera looks like near exit 29. Hopefully this pulls up. Might be down. We're going to give it 5 more seconds. 4, 3. There we go. Just give it a little bit of pressure and then we'll pull up. Mountainburg, a winter wonderland right now. Mountainburg is a winter wonderland. See some more questions here. Patrick, Josh, how do you make live streaming the weather such an art form? It's like watching Picasso paint. Patrick, I'm a bit of an artist myself. You can see some of my art out at Crystal Bridges. I've always been, I've watched Dan for a long time, right? I've been watching Dan the Weatherman. He's helped me out over the years, so I got to give all the credit to him. Got to give all the credit to Dan. He's really helped me out. Stupid question, but who is your favorite NFL team? Mine is the Atlanta Falcons. Well, not a stupid question, Brendan. And unfortunately, it's the Indianapolis Colts. And to be honest with you, I don't want to talk about them right now because they stink really badly. Josh, try to put your dog on the snow sled and put some snow boots and jackets on your dog. Keep them warm. Well, I got a rough collar, Daniel, and she is ready to rock and roll. She's already ready for the snow. She's got all the fur. She's got everything ready to go. So she is actually quite excited about this event that we're going to see in our area. What time will the roads start being impacted in northwest Arkansas or Rogers? I mean, they could be impacted within the next couple of hours or so, Courtney. Based on these trends, based on what we're seeing on radar, I mean, I think roadways could start getting impacted at least near the Fayetteville area within the next hour or so, and Benton County maybe within the next 2 hours. I mean, this snow is moving in right now as we speak. Joshua says Townsend Avenue in Fort Smith is horrible. My best friend is on the road heading to Wendy's on Townsend. It's horrible. Sliding everywhere. So we're starting to see a lot of impacts in the River Valley right now. Thank you for that report, Josh. Folks, got to take it nice and easy. Let's see here. Man, they're lucky. Man, they're leaving at the right time, Ryan. We need to hire them here in the Weather Lab. They are lucky, lucky, lucky. Peanut butter is a great defroster. Brian, are you joking? Are you joking? Sometimes I don't know if you're joking or not. I love your jokes. I don't want to fall for another one. I don't want to fall for another one. Before things get crazy in Northwest Arkansas, I just wanted to say thank you for being live and keeping us all updated. Absolutely, Shauna. And again, I'll be out of here within the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. I got to get home. I've got to get packed. I've got to get down here to Fayetteville before the snow starts so I can get into work tomorrow. But Dan and Zach are going to be here very soon. So they're going to likely get this live stream rocking and rolling again once they get in. Dan owes me $7.50 for some tacos I bought back in 1998. Dan, where you at? Got somebody that says you owe him some tacos, man. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. Hey, shout out to Jennifer. You and her team are by far the most informative and entertaining to watch. Really appreciate that, Jennifer. That means a lot. And yeah, I know, Jennifer. Stay safe out there, Jennifer. It's gonna be a little bit snowy over the next few hours or so. Well, next several hours in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So we're gonna be watching this all very closely. Show the radar to look for approaching storm. So let's go back to radar here. And there's the approaching storm that you were talking about. It is in the River Valley right now, and it's creeping ever closer to Northwest Arkansas. Most of this is hitting the ground already, just south of Fayetteville. Let's see here. So it's starting to get dicey. It's starting to get dicey. Hey, Joss, you answered my question yesterday en route to Clinton on Friday. What if we left around 5 today? Eek. David, man, leaving around 5 today. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea, David. Personally, looking at what's going on right now, you see those scenes in the River Valley and how bad it's getting there, how quickly it's getting bad, and how much the snow is starting to fill in right now. 5 o'clock, it could be pretty rough on the roads. I'm not going to lie, David. If you have to travel, if you must travel, if you must be on the roadways, you need to take it nice and easy, David. But if you can delay that a little bit, or if you can delay that maybe until tomorrow, that might be the move, because it looks like it's getting bad. It looks like it's getting bad on radar right now. It looks like it's getting bad on some of these roads. So let's see here. Thanks for asking the question, David, and stay safe. Stay safe, my friend. Let's see here. I can't believe how fast some of these people are driving. I can't believe it either, Heather. I mean, I'm watching on the iDrive Arkansas cameras right now, and it's crazy. P. Ridge dismisses at 1. Okay, that's good to know. So they'll be getting out within the next 20 minutes, and I think that's the right move. Northwest Arkansas versus River Valley elevation should mean roads get bad pretty quick, and they are getting bad really quick in the River Valley. Oh, thank you so much, Kenny. Really appreciate that. I love the weather so much. This has been my dream my whole life, and living the dream right now, that's for sure, and helping out the Northwest Arkansas community. That's what I love to do. Oh, Michael, no. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. I don't want to run in the snow tomorrow. It's going to be so cold, and if there's 7.5 inches of snow, it's going to be deep. It's going to be trouble. Hey, what's going on, Gabby? Yep, I'm live right now. So yeah. So Gabby's one of our reporters. You have something you're asking? You need an answer to a question?
Dan was here yet.
He's not here quite yet, but he'll be here.
How much time do you think he'll take? 4 minutes?
4+ minutes. Yeah, he'll need it because the roads are getting bad right now. Roads are getting bad. Hey, by the way, you want to be on the live stream here?
No, I'm
Oh, Gabby's not feeling well. Okay, well, see, that shows you she's a trooper, though. She's here at work right now. So
hey, I'm reporting on the morning show tomorrow. See you in the morning.
Look at that. Nice. So you're going to be up in Northwest Arkansas. You're going to be out in the field? RDOT? Nice. Well, bye. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. By the way, Gabby, I might have to run 2 miles on live stream tomorrow in the snow. If we get 7.5 inches of snow or more, I'm going to be on this live stream. Yeah, I made the bet with the viewers. The viewers were talking about this one model that was pumping out 9-10 inches of snow in Northwest Arkansas. So I was like, okay, if there's 7.5 inches of snow in Fayetteville, I will run 2 miles. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. So there you go. Thanks, Gabby. Doing a little photo op right there. Gabby's a great reporter for us, and you'll see her on KNWA Today tomorrow morning at the very least. I'm sure she's probably reporting today too. Some of our reporters are feeling a little under the weather though, so that shows you that they're troopers and they're ready to rock and roll. Brian, I don't even make that much in like 3 months. I don't even make that much in 3 months right there. Oh my goodness, you're funny. I like you, Brian. You're funny. Still seeing a few flurries starting in Bella Vista. Ooh, that's a good report right there, Jim. Okay, so we're starting to get reports of flurries, and that means that this snow is really starting to move into Northwest Arkansas. So I want to go through some of the cameras. If you're getting snow in Northwest Arkansas, make sure you're commenting that. That way I can know. Okay, so it's starting to snow in Prairie Grove. Okay, Country Strong. Thank you for that report. Spitting snow in Missouri right now. Let's see here. Okay, so we're starting to see a lot of reports of snow in portions of northwest Arkansas now. So this is a sign that snow is starting to fill in. So let's kind of go through a little camera tour. We're going to start in southern portions of the river valley and then move up to the north. So this is Waldron. Obviously, Waldron has gotten the bulk of the snowfall right now, and it is coming down hard in Waldron. The roadways are a complete mess along Highway 270 near Y City. Avoid travel in and around the Waldron area if possible. Let's see here. Let's go to Fort Smith. Fort Smith, obviously going to be a winter wonderland as well. Man, parking lot is just covered in snow. Remember at the beginning of this live stream, which we started about 2 hours ago, there was nothing. And now you can see that the roads are getting covered. That's how quick it's going to be in northwest Arkansas, folks. It's going to be like you snap your fingers and there's going to be snow-covered roadways everywhere. So it is imperative that you stay weather aware and take it nice and easy on the roadways this afternoon, especially this evening. I would not be on the roadways this evening for sure. There's a look at the Mountainburg camera. Snow is coming down hard right now there. Mount Magazine, obviously going to be a winter wonderland, and they might get a foot of snow there. Who knows? The Ouachita Mountains definitely going to get hammered with this system. Let's look at the Rogers camera. Somebody said no snow in Rogers yet, and that fits with what we're seeing there. So thank you for the report, Marcy, on that one. Thank you so much. Nothing in Northwest P Ridge, says Wyatt. Okay, Wyatt, thank you so much for that report. Oh, shout out to our news director, Josh Harvison, joining in on the live stream right now. Thanks, Josh, for joining in. And absolutely, man, keeping it locked down right now in the weather lab for sure. Let's take a look at our Decatur City Hall camera. Not seeing any snow there either. So it doesn't look like the snow's making it into Benton County yet. Let's move a little bit farther south. Here's the Mount Sequoia camera. Doesn't look like any snow there yet either in Fayetteville. Nothing in Centerton yet, so thank you so much for that report, Carly. Brittany says, is it snowing in Lincoln? Just joined. I don't see any snow yet in and around Lincoln yet, Carly, but that might change very soon. Posey Mountain, probably not any snow yet. Nope. Let me think here. What other camera should we look at? Alma? I haven't looked at Alma yet. Yeah, that's about what I expected there in Alma. Alma is getting it right now. It is coming down in buckets. Okay, snowing in West Fork and Winslow. So we are getting some reports of snow just south of Fayetteville and in and around the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Ooh, there's a lot of accidents that are starting to be reported in the River Valley, though, right now, too. We need to take a look at that. So I'm going to give you an update on some of the accidents. I'm going to go back here to iDrive Arkansas. There's a scene along Interstate 40. There's an accident that has occurred east of Van Buren along I-40. Looks like that's in the eastbound lane near mile marker 10.1. Looks like the left lane is impacted by that particular accident. So if you're traveling eastbound about 1.5 miles east of Van Buren along Interstate 40, you're going to run into that accident. So make sure you're taking it nice and easy there. There's still that accident along Highway 59 impacting the northbound lane. That was about 1.7 miles north of Interstate 40. Another accident near the Arkansas River Bridge near Exit 3. I think that's that same accident we saw earlier. Looks like that's been cleared. It was a single vehicle accident, but obviously I-540 is a mess right now. An absolute mess. And thank you so much, Kristen, for that comment as well. I'm gonna look at those cameras there too. Another accident along Interstate 540. This one is in the northbound lane. This is near Exit 8A. So this is near Rogers and Grand Avenue. Northbound lane impacting the right shoulder. So more than likely a single vehicle accident. There it is right there. You can see it. There's the police car. Folks, this is a mess. Interstate 540 is a mess. You have got to make sure if you're driving on these roads that you are taking it slow and taking it easy because this is an absolute mess right now. And there are accidents that are starting to pile up along and south of Interstate 40. And they will pile up in northwest Arkansas as well if you're not taking it easy on those roadways. Right now, though, northwest Arkansas not experiencing any snow. Had a few folks reporting snow in Winslow, and there it is. I mean, it's getting close to Fayetteville. This is about 10 to 15 miles south of Fayetteville. And you're already seeing the snow accumulate on the roadways at this time too. So we're already seeing the snow try to pile up on the roadways, starting to accumulate on the roadways. So that tells you that's not going to take a whole lot. A little bit goes a long way with a system like this. I said that all week. And here's the deal. We may not get a little bit in Northwest Arkansas as well. It may be a lot of snow based on these trends. Whew. Winter weather forecasting, man. It is crazy. There's the Bobby Hopper tunnel camera, basically unrecognizable, so no point looking at that. Let's look near Chester. I like this camera. This is a good camera near Chester. Look at the side roads. Bit of a slushy mess right there in Chester. Northbound, southbound lanes. Look at the bridge. See, remember how I told you bridges and overpasses are the ones you got to watch out for. And look at that. Presumed hostile, terrifying, that bridge. Exactly. The bridges are the ones you got to watch out for because they're the ones that get slick first. That's because they're elevated surfaces. They're off the ground. So they have a tendency to get colder. Some of these folks scare me, though. You mean, see how fast that person's going? That scares me a little bit. Maybe it just looks faster because I'm looking on a camera. But, I mean, again, it's so dangerous. And even if you have all-wheel drive, you can be impacted by this stuff, folks. You got to take it nice and easy. There's no need to rush. No need to rush. Go slow. Get to where you're going. Don't put damage on your vehicle. Don't put your life at risk. Take it nice and slow on these roadways. You're going to get to where you're going, I promise. If you take it slow, you're going to get to where you're going. But, man, these people are going fast. These people are going fast. How's Rogers and Bentonville looking? So right now, Jessica, nothing in Bentonville and Rogers yet. But I think that's about to change. Let's see here. Oh, Richard, I'm not. Man, you want me to double down? You want me to go barefoot? And I will go in shorts. I'll go in cross-country shorts when I do it. And I'll also wear my cross-country uniform if I can find it. But I will not be going barefoot. That one's a little bit too far. Man, $10. My goodness, that's crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, absolutely, Derek. I mean, again, it's just take it nice and easy. Just take it nice and easy. Think about other folks and think about your friends and family too. They want you around as well. And I just hate to see accidents. They're preventable, and just take it nice and easy. Let's see here. A certain meteorologist in the area is posting a prediction of 9+ inches for Northwest Arkansas. Who? I want to actually know. You don't have to comment that. I'll look it up. I'm just trying to think about who it is. But my goodness, that seems like a lot. If you start sliding, do not yank the steering wheel or slam on the brakes. That will make it so much worse. Also, do not step on the brake, gas around corners, which is why, Alex, and this is great stuff from Alex here, which is why you need to go slowly. That way you don't have to brake suddenly. Because if you start braking suddenly, that's when you start losing control and then you're done. If you're able to kind of just take it nice and easy and then kind of glide into where you need to go, right? You kind of just let the car stop. That's the best way to handle snowy and icy conditions. Let's see here. How's Mulberry exit 11, Interstate 40? Okay, thank you for that comment. I can look at that right now. Let's see here. Mulberry. Let's see. No, it's Coal Hill. Right here is Mulberry. So this is near exit 24. Obviously, you can see snow-covered roads near exit 24 right now on I-40. And if I go a little bit farther to the west, let's go to this camera. I believe this is the exit 11 cam. This is east of exit 13. Again, you can see snow-covered roadways there. And you can see right now that snow is coming down. It is coming down hard, and it's accumulating on the roadways fast. That's because it's been so cold over the last several days. It has been very, very cold over the last several days, and that's why there's no problems at all for this snow to start accumulating on the roadways. Let's see here. Let's go to this camera. I wish we could see some of these accidents. At least give you a visual of what's going on. A lot of these are likely single vehicle accidents. And it's because people might be just going a little bit too fast. Look how rough the roads are looking there near just off to the east of Van Buren. That is really snowy conditions there. And there's a snowplow. Here comes the snowplow starting to get out there and get to work. They do a great job. And they've been putting salt down over the last several days. And Arkansas Department of Transportation always does a great job. And they're doing a great job getting ahead of this event. But, man, a lot of folks out in the interstates right now probably getting off of work or, they might have been able to leave work early, so they're out on the roads, and it's bad out there right now. Let's see here. Man, a lot of comments coming in. Thank you guys so much for all these comments. I love answering questions. I love seeing all these comments. I love just interacting with everybody. So really, really appreciate it. Coast across bridges, don't touch accelerator at all. I learned that the hard way, Bryce. I learned it too. So you're not alone. I'm sure a lot of other people have as well. Learn my lesson and I'll never do it again. No clue where Alma is. I just came across this. I'm in West Virginia. Wow, we got some folks out in West Virginia watching. Yesterday we had some folks from the Baja region of California and Mexico watching. We've had people from Ohio. We've had people from Australia watch. Man, KNWA, your weather authority team going international right now. Where's Alma? So Alma's in Arkansas, Michelle. So this is a Northwest Arkansas River Valley stream. So we're located in the state of Arkansas, and right now we're getting impacted by a winter storm, and it's causing some problems. Look at that. We got Florida representing right now. Check out mile marker 39 just south of Banyard. Just started, already piling up. Okay, Dakota, thank you for that comment. We'll look right at that. We'll go to that camera right now. So let's go here. Here's mile marker 39. It'll take a little bit to load. Alabama, New Mexico, Albuquerque, Louisiana, Florida, Rhode Island. Let's go. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, we're getting impacted by a winter storm, guys. So you'll probably maybe see this in the national news headlines. A lot of these folks, Rhode Island, you're probably like, okay, this is just a normal day for us up here in the Northeast. But or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But for Northwest Arkansas, this is a lot different. We don't have as many resources here, so this is going to be a pretty big winter storm. So you might see this in the national news up in those spots. But we really appreciate you guys joining in. And hey, Mississippi might get a little bit of winter weather as well in the northern part of Mississippi too. And this winter storm could be surging off to the north and east towards the northeastern United States. So if you're in West Virginia, Rhode Island, keep an eye on this system. San Jose, California represented. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I love it. So this camera right here is near exit 39 in Banyard. And as Dakota was mentioning, man, it is piling up right now in portions of Northwest Arkansas. This is near the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, so it's getting closer and closer to Fayetteville. If there's anybody in Fayetteville watching, can you let me know if you're seeing snow at your place? I'm going to briefly look at our Graduate Hotel camera, and I'm not seeing any snowflakes quite yet in Fayetteville, but I presume that is going to be changing. in a few moments. So we're watching this very, very closely right now. Let's see here. I also want to keep an eye on the temperatures in Northwest Arkansas. So let's see. Hold on. I'm getting a text right now from our chief meteorologist, Dan Scoff. We are warmer in Northwest Arkansas right now. So with it being warmer in Northwest Arkansas, there is a chance that initially it may fall in the form of sleet in some spots. So we're going to have to watch that very closely. Okay. Yeah, it's getting close, though, to Fayetteville. I see a lot of folks saying no snow in Fayetteville quite yet. But Becca says in Greenland, it is starting to snow. Exit 58. We're going to watch this camera here, see if we can see any flakes flying. Don't see it quite yet, but it might be just small snowflakes initially. But we're going to be watching this very closely. No snow yet near Joyce and Fayetteville. No snow near the University of Arkansas campus or in southeast or eastern Fayetteville. Springdale, Arkansas, no snow yet. Okay, so nothing in Northwest Arkansas yet, but that is going to be changing. Here in West Virginia, just got pounded with a snow and ice storm earlier in the week. It's supposed to get more snow tomorrow. Stay safe, Arkansas. Thanks for sharing. Of course, Michelle, and yeah, keep an eye on the system and hopefully it dies down a little bit as it moves towards your area. But yeah, you guys did get a big time winter storm there just a few days ago. That was a big system for a large part of the country. No snow in Salem Springs, so may take a little while for the snow to reach the ground in some spots in northwest Arkansas, and that's normal. That's what happens with these winter weather events, especially with those southerly winds in northwest Arkansas. Remember, there's more of an easterly wind in the river valley, which is why temperatures are colder in the river valley initially, whereas in northwest Arkansas, those temperatures are a little bit warmer than the river valley. And those southerly winds can also foster a bit of a warm nose, which can foster some sleet potential as well. Farmington and Prairie Grove are both seeing snow. So Country Strong is reporting that we've got some snow in Farmington and in Prairie Grove, which is off to the south and west of Fayetteville. So it seems like it's pretty inevitable that within the next 20 to 30 minutes at most, it's going to start snowing in Fayetteville in some form or fashion. So we're going to be watching this very closely. Pump your brakes. Don't slam on them. Heather says chill on the roadways, please. Let's see here. Sleet with snow in Percy and Hot Springs. So just off to the south of our coverage area, but that's a good report right there. So there is some sleet down there in central Arkansas right now. So thank you for that report. That's good to know what's happening off to the south of our area. First, very small flakes starting to fall here in Greenland. So Dave, thank you for that report. We're keeping an eye on this Highway Interstate 49, exit 58 camera. So I'm going to be watching that very closely. Look at all these accidents, though, that are occurring in the river valley. We've got 3 accidents that are ongoing right now. Each of them, as far as I've seen, are single vehicle accidents. So that's a good news right there. Bad news is that the road conditions are getting really bad in these spots. So we're gonna have to watch this very closely. Let's see here. Traffic cameras. Let's zoom back in here. Let's see what's going on. I want to see what the Arkansas River Bridge looks like. I bet the visibilities are just horrible right now with that heavy snow. I bet a lot of people are also on iDrive Arkansas watching this very closely, which is why it may be taking a little while to buffer. Let's see some new comments here. Looks like the dry slot is trying to fill back in. I'm watching that right now, Alex. If I go to weather 2 here, you can see that. And what he's talking about is, you see that dry air that's just off to the east, that low pressure? You see that area where it kind of looks like there's a hole in the middle of all that snow? It does look like it's trying to fill in. So we'll see what happens. Ready and excited, and Rogers picked up my girls early from school. Bring it on, says April. So April's ready to rock and roll with some snow. I love it. I hope everybody has a great snow day. And again, I'm personally, as you probably know, not the biggest fan of snow, just because I don't like forecasting it as much because it's so difficult. But if it brings happiness to people, I'm all about it. So if you're rooting for snow and you want it to snow in your area, hopefully you get enough to build a snowman and have a nice snowball fight and get plenty of sledding in. But there are other things we got to talk about with snow, and it's those travel impacts that people got to deal with. And they're dealing with it right now in the River Valley. That's for sure. Omaha, Nebraska, we keep getting told it's going to snow, but we aren't. So, Kayla, you might get a little bit of snow up in Omaha, but it's not going to be as much as what's happening in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. The system's lining up more with those areas. But thanks for watching all the way out in Omaha. I absolutely love it. Cannot wait to be up there for the College World Series. What expectations are for Bella Vista? So, if you're just tuning in, we can show that. Here's the estimated snowfall totals that we have. So in the Bella Vista area, right now it's leaning more towards 3 to 4 inches of snow. You're located in that 2 to 4 inch amount. And that's because there could be some drier air in northwestern Benton County and southwest Missouri and far northeastern Oklahoma. 3 to 5 inches of snow or greater possible for the rest of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And again, the reason why we've got that plus there is because there could be snowfall totals that exceed 5 inches in the higher terrain of NWA and in portions of the River Valley. So we're going to be watching that very closely in those spots. And of course, if you get that banding, if you get that mesoscale banding in this case, well, then you could sometimes get even heavier snowfall rates. And that's what we're anticipating in portions of the River Valley. 6 to 8 inches of snow or more possible in portions of LaFleur and Scott County. So these locations could see significant winter weather impacts. So we're going to have to watch that very closely there in the higher terrain of the Ouachita Mountains, just south of the I-40 corridor. I think there's a lot of people getting on iDrive Arkansas right now because it is glitching out. I can't pull up any cameras. Oh, wait. I stand corrected. I think there's a camera that's starting to pull up. It's the Greenland camera. And lo and behold, it is snowing in Greenland. So here we go. Fayetteville, it is knocking on the doorstep. So the snow is moving in to southern Washington County, starting to fill in, moving towards Fayetteville, and here we go. Here comes the snow. And it should continue to fill in as we move throughout the rest of the early afternoon hours. Brandon says he just got another notification of a winter storm warning. You know why that might be, Brendan, is because they might have updated the winter storm warning. As a matter of fact, I see here that they did update the winter storm warning. I think they may have updated it just a little bit. They may have updated the timing. Not sure. I haven't seen yet. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. But thank you for the update there. That's a good point. I did get a notification as well. So more than likely the National Weather Service office updated the winter storm warning. That's why you got an update on it. Matt's got the crock pot ready to rock and roll. That's great. Brandon just clicked your comment again. My bad. Cheryl said lost connection, so I'm not sure if you answered about ice on trees. We're still dealing with trees, homes with a new roof starting this week in our neighborhood. Concerned about these trees leaning and ice forming and more damage. So Cheryl, no concerns about freezing rain. That's the good news. That's the worst possible precipitation for trees, power lines, stuff like that. There will be, this is kind of a heavy, wet snow that can sometimes lean on the power lines a little bit if you get like a ton of it, but you need like nearly a foot of snow for that to happen. I don't think that will be the case with this system, at least in far northwestern Arkansas. Portions of the river valley may get, quite a bit of snow. There may be some power issues in some spots, but it's not going to be like freezing rain. It's not going to be anything that like weighs down significantly on the trees and starts busting up limbs, start busting up trees, starts busting up houses. I don't think that's going to be the case with this particular storm system. So hopefully that answered your question right there. Snow in Fayetteville. Here we go. Here we go. Walmart is crazy. Folks are in panic mode. Bread and milk. I knew as soon as that winter storm warning was issued in Benton County that people were going to be out and about. Let's see here. Snow in Fayetteville says country strong. Brian is so funny. Brian's just cracking me up right now. Lisa says, how's the dry slot? So we're watching it. I can show you. It's a big dry slot. I mean, there's a lot of dry air to contend with the storm system. But here's a look at it on satellite radar. You can see there's the drier air filtering in. I mean, it's still a pretty evident dry slot. I mean, it's very clear where the drier air is. And if you want an even better view of it, we can look at it on water vapor, and you can see, look at that orange shaded area. I mean, that is a well-pronounced dry slot. Is it going to eat away at the snow in northwest Arkansas? It might. It's still going to snow, obviously, but this is why we've been a little bit more conservative with our snowfall totals. It just depends on the energy, how it lines up, how much more it can develop, and we're going to have to watch that very closely as we move throughout the rest of the day today. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much, Jeremy. Shout out P Ridge right there, my old stomping grounds. Graduated from P Ridge High School in 2018, so got to give a shout out to P Ridge. Absolutely love that area. We had family go from Tulsa to Fayetteville this morning, dry between the two, but she's just now hitting snow on I-49 heading down to Fayetteville from Springdale. So makes sense because we're seeing it on iDrive Arkansas near Greenland. It's coming down. That's some fat flakes already. I mean, literally, it's just like you snap your fingers and that snow is coming down. I don't see any sleet there, by the way. The Graduate Hotel looks quiet for now, but it's coming. It's coming. In fact, you can actually see it off in the distance there. Look at that. You see that little hazy area back there? over the Mount Sequoia camera. Here it comes. It's moving in as we speak. Fort Smith sure knows about it. My goodness gracious. It is coming down in Fort Smith right now. Waldron has the most. And it's still, I mean, it's just been nonstop heavy snow. Gorilla flakes going on there as well. Woo! Waldron is getting hit. Let's see here. All right, I see a lot of folks talking about the fires as well in California. Definitely praying for those folks. Man, that is just awful. Those fires out in California are absolutely awful. And I'm hoping everybody is able to get out of there and evacuate. I'm praying for those people's houses. That's just an awful situation out there in California. Awful, awful, awful. A friend told me that the line at the liquor store drive-thru looks like Chick-fil-A. Wow. Jim coming in hot with that comment right there. I mean, look, people want to hunker down, right? They got to get their stuff. They got to get their stuff and get ready to rock and roll. Oh, look who's calling me right now. Mr. Dan Scoff. Hi there. This is Josh Rugger with KNWA Fox 24. You are on the weather live stream with Josh Rugger. How you doing today?
You're live streaming still?
Oh, yeah. We're 2 hours and 13 minutes in. We've got 4,529 people in right now and counting.
Well, they're all about to drop off as I walk in, so.
No.
Hanging up. No, anyways, I'm on my way in. I saw the reports from Peyton during the noon show. He was showing the wet snow that was falling. I'm not surprised it's not snowing at 1 o'clock. I didn't think there would be any problems with the roadways. What's any comments on that at all?
Yeah. So people are just now commenting, starting to see the first flakes flying in Greenland. We can see that on iDrive Arkansas near exit 58. Few folks reporting a few snowflakes in Fayetteville now, and River Valley, man, it's a mess. I'm telling you, it is a mess in the River Valley right now. Multiple accidents. The roadways, they got covered quickly in the River Valley.
Yeah. There wasn't that sleet transition, so
yeah.
But Peyton said the snow amounts are lightening up now a little bit. Is that true?
Yeah, it looks like
it's still pretty widespread. It's still heavy snow.
Yeah, you could definitely see some lighter snow starting to move into the River Valley right now. Very heavy snow though in Scott County. Waldron right now, the Waldron High School cameraman, it is gorilla flakes right now. Gorilla flakes. White out. Yep. Yeah. It is very heavy snow in Scott County. So
not surprised at that in the least. That's where we had the bullseye for the heaviest. I can see the snow. I'm dropping down a crossover right now on my way to work, and I can start to see the snow showing up. So south of Highway 16 in those mountains, I can see it.
And Sarah was mentioning the same thing, light snowflakes off of Weddington and Fayetteville. So here we go. Kevin says the same thing too.
Starting off immediately. Now it is about freezing. I'm showing 32 at Drake Field, but
let's look at
my Apple Watch is showing 36. 37. My car is showing 36. Granted, that's typically a little too warm.
So 5-minute observations at Drake Field currently show 33 degrees. So it's just a touch above freezing.
Not 38, 39 like the HRRR.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Still above freezing now. A little bit. I'm seeing the first spitting of snow right now.
Yes. We actually at the very beginning of the live stream, Dan, compared that because I compared the current observations to the HRRR. This was 2 hours ago. The HRRR said at 11 o'clock it was supposed to be 34 to 35 degrees in Fayetteville, and it was 30 degrees. So it was off by about 4 to 5 degrees. And it makes a big difference.
I have noticed a heavier swath of snow, though, translating eastward and not northeast. So that also leads concern saying, are we going to get the, over 4 inches up to 7 inches in northwest Arkansas? I don't know. I still have my doubts about that.
Yeah, and that's why we went 3 to 5. That's why we went 3 to 5 in those spots with Delaware County in southwest Missouri and far northwestern Arkansas still at 2 to 4. I mean, and you just look at on satellite radar, man, that dry slot is big. That is a stout dry slot.
I know, and that could kill everything, and the models don't handle that until it's actually happening.
Exactly. So there's still questions that remain to be answered right now, for sure. Nothing is set in stone, especially for, excuse me, especially for Northwest Arkansas. River Valley, though, right now, definitely looking like everything is verifying there, and then some.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Not a surprise at all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see the snow bands looking southwest when you drive Highway 16, Huntsville Road, and you're over by basically Rock Street. Yep, a few flurries showing up now, spitting snow. But I could see the heavier snow swath to the southwest. You could probably see that from our Graduate Hotel Weatherboard Network camera.
Yeah, let me go to the Graduate Hotel cam here.
If you look southwest, you'll just see a fog. That's the snow that's coming down.
I actually did see that on the Mount Sequoia camera.
Mount Sequoia, you can see it probably as well.
Yes. In fact, let me pull that up right now. Hold on. Look at that. That's what Dan was just talking about. See that fog? There it is, coming in.
That's the snow.
A little bit of snow flurries actually on Mount Sequoia right now that you can see on the camera.
I can see him as well.
Yeah.
I can see him as well coming in. So, all right, well, I'll let you get back to the live stream. I'll be in about 5-10 minutes at the very latest. So
all right.
I'll see you here soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Dan the weatherman coming in 5 to 10 minutes. I got to get home. And I've got to pack up. I live up in Bella Vista. I'm staying down here in Fayetteville, and I do not want to get caught in this mess. I do not want to get caught in this mess. So once he gets in here, I think I'll let him relieve me of my duties. Brian with another great comment. I just DoorDashed $300 of Taco Bell. I'm good to go. Brian's good to go. Brian, hopefully you didn't eat that. I mean, I'm tempted by Taco Bell. I don't know if I could DoorDash because I'd be tempted by the Taco Bell. Dave Roberts says, thanks, Dan, and he'll be in here in just a minute, ready to rock and roll. What about going to work at 4 and Rogers? She'll be closed for the night. Dennis, yeah, Rogers, it might get a little dicey soon. The snow is not nearly as heavy as you can see here on Highly and Cooling Mega Doppler. The heaviest snow is located in the River Valley for sure. But, man, still quite a bit of snow that's coming in right now. So we're going to have to watch this very closely. Patrick, am I going to have to run 2 miles tomorrow? Well, we have to get 7.5 inches of snow in Fayetteville, Patrick. And again, there's still some questions that remain to be answered. By the way, Patrick is our assignment manager. Great guy. Great dude. Big Eagles fan. Unfortunately, he's going to have to see his Eagles lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but that's okay. But Patrick, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of dry air that's going to be moving into Northwest Arkansas, so that may kill the significant snow potential. Again, it's still going to snow, but yeah, I don't know about 7.5 inches. Just looking at radar right now, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Looks like we need to keep an eye on these iDrive Arkansas cameras because there seems to be more people struggling on these roadways. I mean, golly. We got near whiteout conditions here. This is near Grand and Rogers Avenue, folks. Look at this. Interstate 540. Remember, about an hour and a half ago, I started this live stream 2.5 hours ago. An hour and a half ago, this road was fine. It was great. Now it is a disaster zone. I mean, there is snow everywhere right now along I-540, and it will get worse in the River Valley. So it is imperative that you take it nice and easy along the roadways, especially in the River Valley right now. But could be a very similar story in Northwest Arkansas very soon. Keep safe driving home and keep your dog safe. Don't forget dog boots and jackets. Nikita, I'll make sure to have that available for Harper. And she'll be ready to rock and roll. Patrick says flakes flying down in Fayetteville. Why do different radar sources like NWS, for example, show more snow on radar than the Mega Doppler? Well, that's a good question, Jerry. And it has to do perhaps with the radar source that you're looking at. So you might be looking at the Tulsa radar. The Tulsa radar may be showing a little bit more snow than the Fort Smith radar. Might be showing heavier snow. And Fort Smith radar also, right? You got to remember the beam, right? The beam height, depending on how far away you are from the radar, sometimes it can't pick up on that lowest level. And so at the lower level, there might be heavier snow, and the radar's not picking up on that on Mega Doppler or the National Weather Service radar. What's that yellow blob that showed up on Mega Doppler? Well, let me show you right here. Let's go back to Mega Doppler. That's like an area of sleet that was showing up, which, by the way, there is some sleet reports in portions of Montgomery County and Garland County, which is off to the south and east of our weather coverage area. So it actually makes sense. It actually does line up. Yeah, a little bit of sleet being reported in portions of Montgomery County. Marie, I think you're asking about this camera. This is Interstate 540 near Fort Smith, near Grand and Rogers Avenue, near exit 8 and 9. Let's see here. Yeah, the Mina orange blob. Yeah, that's a little bit of sleet that's going on there. I think, believe in heaven. Super tiny flakes falling in Siloam now. Here we go, Benton County. You're up to bat. I wonder if we're already seeing impacts in near Greenland. Let's look here. It's coming down. Starting to really come down, that's for sure. Let's see here. Oh, yes. Yeah, so Jesse, again, we forecasted less because, there's some uncertainties, right? There's some uncertainties. There's no doubt about it, right? The models have uptrended. We recognize that. But we also know that sometimes the models can't pick up on certain aspects of winter weather events, especially one like this, in which it's taking such a southerly track. So there are some concerns about dry air in Northwest Arkansas still. There are some concerns about there being a break in the activity. If there's a break in the snow in Northwest Arkansas, well, that will cause some melting, and then obviously that will lower your snowfall totals. So we have forecasted less for sure. Regardless, there's a winter storm warning in effect, and regardless of the amount of snow that we get in Northwest Arkansas, it will cause impacts. And we have stressed that throughout this entire forecasting process. There will be impacts in every single county in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. The question is, how much snow falls in Northwest Arkansas compared to the River Valley, and how long do those impacts stick around? That's really what it comes down to for me. Snow accumulation is one thing, right? But with a system like this, a little bit goes a long way. So whether you're getting 2 inches of snow or 10 inches of snow, it doesn't matter. We are anticipating impacts for our entire weather coverage area. Yeah, so the heavy stuff is supposed to happen right around 7 o'clock, believe in heaven, maybe a little bit earlier because the snow is coming in earlier, obviously, into our weather coverage area. So, yeah, heavier stuff will be after 6 o'clock, I think, especially in the River Valley. Just started at Mission and Crossover in Fayetteville. So thank you so much, Paula, for that report. Yep, getting going in those locations. Brian's got me a tent that I can borrow. Brian, thank you so much, man. Clutch. Crazy in Fort Smith. Not huge flakes, but still coming down pretty hard. That's the thing. Fort Smith, the flakes might be dying down a little bit there. I can see that on radar. But in Scott County, it's gorilla flakes. But, uh-oh. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of gorilla,
Boom,
speaking of
boom,
swole.
Boom, 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 boom.
He's dressed up for the death of the snowfall.
I got some gloves
Nice.
because someone's got a snowball with their name on it.
Oh, boy. Zach Gilday.
Hey, question for you. I don't think you did, but did you record any of the cameras for
I did.
time lapses?
I did not. I did not.
That would have been epic. Let's see
I
if
messed
can-
up.
Let's see if I can hit record.
I started the live stream and
We
then
can
I
do
didn't.
it on some of the others.
Yeah, Mount Sequoia would be a good one.
Yep, because it's just starting.
Yes. Man, that Fort Smith one, that time lapse would have been great.
There it is. It's really starting to come down now.
Yeah, and that.
Holy smokes, that is some really heavy snow.
Yeah, it's coming now.
And sleet.
Some areas here, there was some viewers that were talking about this, and I'm going to show some Mega Doppler.
In Garland County.
In Garland County, yeah, there's some viewers that are in this area. They said it was sleeting. So that
Okay.
might be some sleet showing up there.
That's
on
what
radar.
that orange would be.
Yeah, yeah.
Orange is sleet.
That's why it looks so extreme. But
Nice.
hey, look at this though, Dan.
But yeah.
Look at this camera right here. If you want big time flakes, there you go, right there.
Yeah,
It's coming down.
that is a good little snow right there.
Yes. And it's crazy because I started the live stream 2.5 hours ago and there was nothing on these cameras. And then as it's evolved, it's just piling up.
So my wife asked about this guy, Brian, and asked like, what about these tacos? Like, what is the deal with this? So if you want, you let me know what we got with tacos back in 1998. That would be when I was like in Oklahoma City. So you let me know when I was getting tacos. If it was, what was it, Del Taco, or what was the place that used to be? Oh, remember that place? Gosh, I can't remember. That taco place.
Too, yes.
Anyways, that was in Norman. It wasn't Del Taco. I can't remember the name of it. I haven't seen it around though anymore.
Is it just gone?
Yeah, I think so.
It's gone. It closed down.
What was the name of that place? But anyways, my wife's like, "What's the deal with this guy needing tacos?
I mean,
money for tacos for you."
This man's got a great memory.
Hey,
1998.
Here's the deal. I'll pay you back, whatever it is.
He's got you covered.
Can only be like a few dollars for tacos.
He might give you a free raccoon too.
On
the side, because he's bringing in all the raccoons. He said he's misplacing the cats.
And the weather bucket.
Yeah, the weather bucket, yes. Oh, Taco Tico? Is that it?
No.
Taco Tico? Taco Bueno.
Taco Bueno.
Taco Bueno.
Yeah, Taco Bueno.
Kinsey, you win.
Taco Bueno.
She got it right. Oh, man. Hey, by the way, we're going international. We got viewers from Mexico. We've got viewers from Europe, Rhode Island.
Wow.
Yeah, New Mexico, California, everybody. Everybody's watching right now.
I'm going to hit record on some of these other cameras, like Garfield, I think would be a good one.
Yes.
Posey Mountain.
Posey Mountain's going to be great. Woo. That camera is going to be awesome. Here we go. Finally in East Fayetteville. All right. So it's starting to ramp up in Fayetteville now.
Where's this RDOT from?
That is near Greenland.
Okay.
So
go a little bit farther north here.
Let's go a little farther north. I'm going to move it to.
Yeah, see, nothing in Springdale, but right here in Fayetteville, they're already seeing snow covered.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to get ahead of it.
It's a little stretch.
It's a little early for that. That's what I was saying too. Guess they're just trying to get ahead of the curve. Big flakes in Prairie Grove, says Kinsey.
I believe that.
I believe that. Southwest Washington County. So here it comes.
We know it's pretty much all snow, and so you can see those. See, here's the deal, though. These lighter greens, that amounts to snow, but it doesn't amount to extremely heavy snow totals. So, but remember, this storm is going to go throughout the evening and into the night. That's when I think we get our heaviest snow.
Yeah.
When this energy really starts to.
That's when it's going to start kicking in.
But the thing is, with winter weather, and I mentioned this last night on the stream, it takes a long time to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at these precipitation amounts and you're just like, oh, I hope it builds in, I hope it builds in, it will, but as far as that amount of snow, I don't want to be, shooting for the moon
exactly
and stressing out that, it's going to underperform.
And what I was saying too during this live stream as well, Dan, is that regardless if you get 2 inches of snow or 10 inches of snow, you're going to see impacts.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's going to be impactful winter weather. So, we just don't want to get there's still some uncertainties with the system for Northwest Arkansas. River Valley, it's pretty much a slam dunk big snowstorm.
Yeah.
But for the River Valley, for Northwest Arkansas, there's uncertainties there that we've seen in the past with previous storm systems that have, bitten us before.
Absolutely.
And and so we're just taking that into account. And so we're just adjusting it as necessary.
I watched the Arkansas Today, the noon show that we have. That's out of Little Rock with your weather update. And Peyton actually did an update, and we might be seeing him. I gave him the invite to join us on the live in the River Valley in Fort Smith. So he might hop on here real soon.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to say is that I thought this was really interesting. RDOT said the majority of their accidents in winter weather occur with a trace of precipitation.
Wow. That is crazy.
About 74% of the accidents. And so what does that mean? Well, that means when people go out with a trace, they're thinking it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more likely to be on the roads with the trace.
Right.
So that's why the accidents occur. It doesn't take much to cause issues.
Right.
Then as you get into the 3, 4, 5, 6-inch totals, the percentages go way down. Like 10% of their accidents are from that. And it makes sense because
Less people.
less people are out on the roads
Yeah.
and they don't want to venture out.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Well, that was the thing too, is that I'm looking at these Interstate 540 is experiencing accidents left and right. They're all single vehicle accidents because people are driving too fast. They think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of snow on the roads. And then they run into a slick spot. And they're off the road.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing right now in the River Valley with this initial blast of snow.
So let's look at Rogers Avenue here. Have you looked at
Oh
it?
yeah, we've been
Does it
going through
work?
cameras.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been going through. all kinds of
Oh
cameras.
yeah, that's
Look at that
see,
slide.
it's a good little snow, and you can see the parking lots covered, but the roads that are treated are a little bit melty. But yeah, that is definitely some decent amounts of snowflakes coming down. So, as mentioned, River Valley getting more, getting it earlier. That makes sense. So where's the latest precipitation shield now? Well, let's check out. Now let's go to Mega Doppler here and let's look, and then we'll do the mosaic as well. So we know it's snow everywhere, and I think this really gives you a good idea when it's spreading over the area. But look at how it just doesn't have the moisture content as much as down south, and that's all about the track of the system. But at times there's going to be bursts of snow that develop. They're going to be very localized, and some places will pick up more and other places won't. So
absolutely.
Have you shown the accumulation map in a little while?
I have, yeah. I've showed it pretty consistently. We show it once again here. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Yeah, here's a look at it right here. I'll pull it back to weather one here. So yeah, this is the latest accumulation map, updated about a couple hours ago, give or take. And again, for far northwestern Arkansas and southwest Missouri, the concern is, and why we're still going with the 2 to 4 inch amount in those areas, is because of that potential for drier air and for lighter snowfall totals as well. You can already see that kind of on Mega Doppler too.
Yeah.
It's much lighter right now in northwestern Benton County and northeast Oklahoma. So areas like Gravette, Grove, Pineville, Berry McDonald County, Delaware County will likely see less snow. Now, here's the deal. If there's that band of heavier snowfall, well, that could change things quite a bit and push it up to about 3 to 4 inches of snow. But right now, for far northwestern Arkansas and southwest Missouri, we're looking at slightly lighter snowfall totals. Now, a little bit farther south and east, we increased the snowfall totals for Fayetteville, Farmington, Greenland, Washington County, the higher trade of northwest Arkansas. We're going with 3 to 5 inches, so we increased the low end amount. That was the biggest change that we made, because originally it was 2 to 4 inches in these areas. We increased the low end amount to 3 inches. Looking at the latest data, you're seeing those heavier bursts of snow already showing up in Washington County. Those big bursts of snow can increase those snowfall rates, and it can increase the amount of snow that you see at minimum. So we're going with 3 inches. That's a low end amount, but there's the potential for 4, 5 inch amounts in portions of northwest Arkansas. And a lot of people were commenting on this. They're like, well, why do you put a plus there? You're kind of copping out. Well, we've got higher terrain areas of northwest Arkansas that could see more snow than that.
Yeah, because you can't, with our terrain, I mean, come on, let's face it, man. We've had winter storms where basically Fayetteville doesn't get a snowflake.
Exactly.
And then you've got Newton County, just about an hour and a half drive east, that gets 8 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It's all about terrain. Terrain makes the impacts, and terrain makes difference as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got someone joining the stream. Meteorologist Peyton Langford, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Making sure you're not driving, are you? Are you driving at the time you're doing the live, or is he just in his car? We'll find out.
I think it's just.
Let's see. Let's get Adam to the stream. What's going on, Peyton?
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Cool. Great. So, yeah, I'm outside the Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith next to Rogers Avenue. And just an update on the scene. Big time accident kind of just up the hill and backs cars up all the way down.
Yeah, that's that's going to be an issue there.
Yeah.
It looks like the flakes aren't coming down as much. Is that true?
That still looks about the same. I think it just blends in with the other snow and already on the ground.
And bring you up.
Coming down pretty good.
Yeah, he can see a little bit better there now. So tell me exactly where you're at. That's Rogers Avenue?
Yeah, this is Rogers Avenue. Over back that way is the mall. And so, yeah.
Saw your update that you did on Arkansas Today. saw the snow that was coming down. It looked like the roads were slushy, not necessarily impassable at this point, but definitely slick. You have any advice for people that are getting out on the roadways?
If there's hills involved, I would not get out on the roadways, especially if you have just like two-wheel drive, because people are slipping and sliding and spinning out and all that jazz.
That's right.
That's some good information right there.
Yeah,
And Peyton,
it's coming down pretty good. Totals have picked up, I'm sure, just quite a bit over the last, hour or so.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been so what do you think in terms of accumulation right now there in the River Valley so far and around your area? I don't know if you've gotten a chance to get outside and check it out. But
Yeah,
what do you
let's check it out. Let's check it out. I got a tape measure, not the one Marty gave me from Jody. It's a little thin. It's a little thin, but it would get the job done.
Sure. What did he have? Like a tiny little tape measure that's like flimsy as all can be?
I got this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
classic.
This'll work.
There you
All right.
An inch. Ish.
Hold on. I'm bringing you up full. Let's see what that is.
About an inch.
Okay, about an
inch.
inch. Already inch. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Jeremy says about a half inch already in downtown Mulberry. So I do want to. I've seen a lot of comments on this. And Cheryl, I've seen your comment multiple times, and I know you mentioned this, that Northwest Arkansas's totals have increased, with Tulsa showing 5 to 8 inches in Benton, Washington, Carroll counties. That is definitely probably the higher end, I think. I think this storm system has the potential to produce higher end. But at the same time, I want to show you that there still is that uncertainty with precipitation being less. And you could see that those snow amounts. Now, remember, the heavier the snow is down south, the more moisture is sapped out of the atmosphere. So that's something that you might not know. A lot of people don't know. And I'm not saying the Weather Service is wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying that we're wrong. I mean, we may be a little underdone. We're just being cautious on this, because how many storms have we seen that have not brought the amount of snow that's expected? And then I think it's worse when you overshoot instead of undershoot.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, it's still talking about impact.
Yes.
So we're not making light of that and saying there won't be anything. Don't worry about
Exactly.
it. No.
And that's the thing too. We got a winter storm warning right now. There's your messaging right there. There's enough comments from the National Weather Service that can see significant impacts. That's why they issued that winter storm warning. So again, it's one of those systems, and I've been stressing this all week. A little bit goes a long way. It's been so cold over the last several days here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and because of that, it's not going to take a whole lot to start piling up on the roadways, causing issues. So no matter if you get 2 inches of snow or 10 inches of snow, you're going to run into impacts over the next 24 to 36 hours, and that's why we make sure you're taking it nice and easy on the roadways. And
there's also the dry slot too that you got to deal with. So Cheryl, let me teach you about this. This is a dry slot. This is another reason we're kind of a little more cautious.
Yep.
Peyton, you'll see this as well, because this is the radar mosaic. But let me bring this up full and show you. So this is the satellite radar. And yeah, big system, no doubt. But look at what's happening to our southwest. This right here in the Lubbock area, see that lack of snow? That is called the dry slot. Dry slot is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. We're going to look at the water vapor. I'm going to show you this dry air that's coming in. That dry air will kill your snowfall rates. And guess what? That continues to march east. Does this last throughout the night as expected? Possibly. But at the same time, that dry slot's pretty big.
that's a big dry slot. That's a lot of dry air.
And the models didn't have that nearly as much as what it was showing. That's the thing. That's the thing with these very powerful systems. Now, the big snowstorm in 2011, February 9th, that was a freak of nature storm because it was very cold. It snowed snowed a lot because the ratios were so high. That's another thing too, is a lot of people are looking at 10 to 1 inch, 10 to 1 ratios on their accumulation maps. And I don't know. I'm cautious about going 4 for the lower end and 7 for the upper end. I think that for Northwest Arkansas, looking at this dry slot, looking at the dry air, look at how that translates to precipitation, and you can see that lack of precipitation
That is
out
a
west.
huge dry.
And
season.
honestly, you look at this, and it doesn't look like it's going to snow past 8, 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What do you think about that, Peyton? You saw that dry slot. That was pretty substantial.
Gigas.
Yeah.
pretty
It'll
stout.
definitely slow things down a little bit towards the end. There was, I think the European, was hinting at a quick blow as compared to the GFS. And we kind of noticed that. That's kind of why we have our totals the way they are, accounting for just a quick blow and especially tapering off fairly quickly in Northwest Arkansas. Overnight, we still thought it would, be snowing just beyond midnight, but that dry slot coming in, eating away at all the moisture in the air.
So here's another thing, too. You look at snow depth. You're talking about the European, the GFS. Snow depth, we talked about this earlier. For those that are on that we haven't really touched on yet, snow depth is important because it does account for the lighter snow rates that will basically limit the accumulation. And also, yes, there will be a little bit of melting because these snowflakes are so wet, right? They're pretty wet, aren't they, Peyton?
Yeah.
About as wet as they can get.
Fat wet flakes.
Absolutely. So if you look here, and we'll bring this back up full, but you can see, but there's the snow depth. We're ranging from 3 to 4 inches across Northwest Arkansas. Now, that's not what the accumulation maps show. No, the accumulation maps show, well, that's just basically a lot more. Do we have?
We got a 4. Let's pull up that 4 panel.
That's a different one.
That's
I tried to make a snow depth one. We didn't have the NAM 20
Yeah,
kilometer.
this is my show too. Like,
do you have?
I've got. Let's see. Go down to snow accumulation.
You might have it in there. Yep.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Okay, so let's see what the models are showing. Remember, this is a 10-to-1 ratio. 10-to-1. So let's click through. There's the graph. That's increased a little bit. Let me bring this up full so you can see. 5.5 to 6.5, but to 7 to 8.
But
Yeah,
it's the same model we just saw, right?
Yeah.
With the 10-to-1 ratio, right? The snow depth map was about 1.5 inches less than that
yep,
in Fayetteville.
exactly. So that makes a big difference.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and we'll look at the GFS, 5.4. And remember, we're going to look at the snow and then the NAM. The NAM's just going nuts.
It's just out to dry.
But at the same time, the NAM, did you see what the snow depth is for the NAM?
This is a
this.
3 kilometer NAM, but it's very similar story.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So it's a lot less.
Yes. I mean,
Now,
not
maybe
even
snow
close.
depth is underdoing it. What do you think, Peyton? You think snow depth might be underdoing the amount of totals?
Snow depth. Honestly, NAM, never accurate model.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think it is. And the reason why, and the reason why I don't think it's that dramatic is because you kind of mentioned this in group chat, Dan, but these are wet flakes. And if it starts slowing down, I mean, those have a tendency to melt a lot quicker as well. I mean, some of the models are picking up on that as well, like the breaks in the activity as well. You kind of see the snow depth kind of shrink over some spots. So I think they're right on the money. I personally think they're onto something.
Case in point, I'm going to show you something. So it's been snowing for about an hour and a half. All right. So now it's been snowing, I'd say, for a half hour. Well, look at this. We're going to bring up weather too. At this point, the model's already showing an inch of snow on the ground.
Exactly.
But there you see the roads, they're not covered at all.
Exactly.
So there's your compaction, there's your melting. That's why you're not seeing that. Someone asked, why is it not snowing in Marble? Because Marble is getting the precipitation, but it's just starting to move in. These are the lighter snow amounts right here in Marble that are not picking up the snow. But I'll tell you what, Brendan, you're going to be seeing snow probably within the next 15, 20 minutes because this band right here will start to probably allow that snow to start reaching the ground.
Saturated. Yeah.
And look at else who we got in the studio. It is the Gigazak.
Hey,
It's good to see you, man.
Dan, Josh.
Yes, sir.
It's been a hot minute or a cold minute since I've seen
yeah.
Zach. So Zach holding down the fort on Sunday night, nailing that storm like throwing up squats 350.
Sir.
You squatted that storm system.
I was just out there, snowing light, Fayetteville right now. About to probably pick up, but roads are good. I think that's the icing issue shouldn't be as bad with this system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that's
I
the
mean,
truth.
True that.
hopefully these roads, if they get some plowing done, should be good. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Problem is too, at the same time, is I hate to say this, but when you've got the cars driving on the roads,
Yeah.
they're melting with the friction of the tires,
Mhm.
and then that causes, because it's going to be colder, you're going to see, icing, but it's not hitting that like 25, 24 degree magic temperature,
Yeah, it's,
which really ices the roads.
yeah, it's
So
not that cold.
I got a snow tie, Andrew. Look who's wearing it over here, right there.
A hand-me-down.
The big old fat dendrites right there.
A hand-me-down right
He's
there.
going to be handing that down
Exactly.
here for the newscast
Trade it
tonight.
off.
Yeah,
Yes.
trade it off.
It's like handing off. Right? Do a little hand.
I'm all right with
Yes.
it. Hey,
Yes.
that's the weather team. We can all wear
Yes.
ties that are basically representing the weather. All right, Peyton, another report here. Let's get you to give us an update.
All right. I will be trying to get back over towards the mall because that's where I'll do my live shots a little bit later on. But traffic's still pretty bad outside. You can only turn your camera if you flip it vertical before you go back to horizontal. Hold on the window here. So definitely still coming down. Pretty good rate, but still backed up along Rogers Avenue. I haven't even gone back over towards the mall, but the other way on Rogers Avenue, there was another accident. So definitely be careful out on the roads for sure.
All right. Appreciate that. I'm going to look at something real quick.
Yeah, I've been watching I drive too. There was an accident on Highway 59, accident on Highway 71, another one along Interstate 540. So we're just scattered about everywhere right now. A lot of folks encountering the snow as they're leaving work or school early or whatever's going on. Whatever they're dealing with. But like you said, Dan, a lot of these accidents occur initially as the snow is first moving through the area because folks are either caught off guard or they're driving too fast. They don't think it's a slick, and then they hit one slick spot and they're off the road.
I can believe that. Heavily snowing in Pinnacle Mountain. You're right. Right on. Throw a snowball at them. It's coming down in Goshen. Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you something real quick here.
I'm going to hop off, Dan, so I can try to get over back towards the mall.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Peyton.
Sir.
Appreciate your report. Take care of it. Before you leave, I just want to show you something. You can hop off after this. But
all right,
according to the NAM accumulation maps, look at this. In exactly 1 hour, we're supposed to have almost 2 inches of snow on the ground. It goes from this to this. But yet it's been snowing for a half hour, and this is what we're actually seeing. So do you see the difference?
Exactly.
You see why we don't just go with accumulation maps.
Exactly.
There's a big difference. So
Not
all right.
even close.
Thanks, Peyton. We'll see you tonight on the news. He's going to be
Yes,
giving us
sir.
live reports later on tonight. And that's going to be for the newscast and for
Tomorrow
the morning.
Yeah.
And Mikasa, Sukasa,
Yeah.
you're staying at my place. Are you going
Yes.
up to Bella Vista
I'm
first?
going up to Bella Vista first, grab my stuff, grab the VR headset just in case.
You'll be playing with Cade. I don't know.
About mini golf, baby.
I won't be, but winter weather is so difficult to forecast. That's right. All right, back to some cameras. Let's go take a little tour, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so here's
Wow.
Alma. Woo,
Winter
yeah.
Wonderland.
And no surprise there. Alma
Yes.
is getting a big time snow. Gorilla Flakes.
Gorilla Flakes, yes.
Bella Vista.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
But you know what? There's a reason, and that's because the precipitation's taking longer to get up there.
And it's not as heavy. It's not as heavy.
Not as heavy.
Exactly. So it's going to take a little bit longer for those flakes to actually reach the ground. Need those heavier precipitation rates to overcome that dry air.
Next, how about Fulbright Junior High?
Nope.
Early release.
Yep.
No precipitation at all out there. I was wondering if that was going to be valid, the early release. But here's the deal. I get it. You got to be precautionary.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. You don't want the last thing you want is the buses that are out there trying to drive around. But we did say all along, your weather authority team said all along, probably won't be a lot of snow on the ground at about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Right.
But it will be going downhill throughout the afternoon, and especially tonight.
It's better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
All right, next, we're going to work our way down the line alphabetically. So
Ready.
here we go. Bentonville Square.
What?
Oh.
Oh, the source must be out.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the
actually,
source-
I think
I think that source on OBS is out.
a lot of times IP addresses change.
Yeah.
Things forget to get changed. Let me see.
It should be
if-
up on here.
I think we've got the Bentonville Square, but we already
Yeah.
know something's not happening there. So let me bring up Bentonville Square. I will change that source.
Mhm.
There's the Bentonville Square.
Getting black snow.
Starting to see a little bit of snow.
Yes.
I see a few flurries on there. All right, next Decatur. Nope. What? Graduate Hotel.
Yep.
Definitely snowing. Definitely snowing.
Nice.
Now we can actually see that heavier snow too when we look to the south. So let's do this. Let's tilt up a little bit. I didn't hit record on any of those cameras yet. I should. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, but you can see the mist. You can see the fog coming in on the Mount Sequoia camera.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, it was slowly rolling in.
Yeah, that's definitely snowing. Here, let's hit record on Decatur. Let's hit record on Posey. And Lincoln's already snowing. All right, so we're going to go through some more here. Let's go back, and you can keep monitoring comments.
Yeah.
Kessler. Well, that is a
Yeah.
whiteout.
And a whiteout. No
that really
surprise.
is what it looks like
Yes,
too.
yes.
That is what you call a whiteout right there. That is the definition of a whiteout.
As wide as it gets.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Mount Sequoia, snow's coming down now.
There's the
Definitely
fog.
see it.
Yep. Miss Laura, Winter Wonderland.
All right, Miss Laura's. We got Fort Smith Public Library, Posey Mountain, which I just hit record on. See how there's no snow bands to the south yet, but that's going to change. That one's out. Yeah, that one's not going to work. Here's Gaither Mountain. Everything's pretty quiet. Are you seeing some snowflakes? Yeah, little bit,
Maybe a little bit.
little
tiny
bit.
ones.
Lincoln.
Woo!
That's definitely coming.
Man, it's
out.
coming down in Lincoln.
Yeah,
Wow.
those are some pretty fast.
That's where that
moving
heavier
flakes.
band of snow moved through.
Mount Magazine. There
Yeah.
you go.
They're going to be the winners.
Yeah,
Of this
they're going
whole
to be the
thing.
heaviest snow.
Yep.
Here's Cartwright. That's coming down. P Ridge. Nothing yet. You know what? I'm going to move that camera. And I want to hit
Yeah.
record.
That will be a good one to see the football field.
Yep.
Uh,
You can keep going
Yeah.
on some others.
Rogers Pinnacle Parkway Tires cam. Not seen anything yet on that camera, but that's going to change very soon. I don't see anything. Do you see anything?
Nope.
No, not quite yet. Salem Springs. Yep.
Snowing.
A little heavier burst of snow there.
Arkansas Children's. There you go.
Yes.
There's the snow.
And the best one out of all of them. Walter.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good snow.
That is a good snow. So yeah, a lot
But
of
you
people.
can still see someone moving along on the roads. That's
Yeah.
a truck, though.
He probably got all-wheel drive.
Blake's
Couldn't
just
guess.
started in Elkins.
Yep. So a lot of people starting to see it now in East Springdale. And snow started in Southeast Fayetteville about 1:15. So like you said, Dan, it's been snowing in some spots for the last 45 minutes, and yet the accumulations don't line up.
They
with
haven't
what the
added up
models
yet.
are. Yep.
Yep. I mean, look at the interstate, and this is because the roads are treated too. But
Yeah.
it just doesn't automatically, instantaneously accumulate. This is a good This is a good comment here. Good thing is early dismissal is a school can be in service through lunch. You can call it a school day, and you don't have to make it up.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
fantastic. Yeah,
I think there's going to be some school days that are going to be out tomorrow, though.
absolutely. No doubt.
Yep.
That's a good
Snowing pretty steadily in Sonora.
Nice.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, here's what we've got. So we've got a editorial meeting that's coming up at 2:00. In order to do that, we've got to get off of here.
And pretty much.
This guy has to get home.
I gotta get home and get my stuff
You got to get your stuff
and play some VR.
and have some fun with my son. I told him to clean his bathroom, so if he didn't, let me know about it.
I will.
Dad's gonna come down on him. And then yeah, so that's gonna put the hammer down.
Get the hammer down. Oh wait, hold up. The hammer down. That brings a few flashbacks for me. Full tilt boogie.
No.
Hammer
no,
down.
no.
Left lane.
Okay, yeah. Where can you send pictures of the snow? Let me show you here.
That's
Great,
good.
great
That's a good
place.
question.
It is submit your photo. It's a good question.
Very good question. By the way, we're live on the front page. Website.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. All right. Well, we're gonna shut it down here. I know we would love to go all day, all night,
We
but we
could.
can't. We got to get ready for our newscast. We also have to do the editorial meeting. I'm going to post the link. This is where you submit your photos. What's great about this is it goes to our website. It goes to everybody can see it through what's called megaphone, and then we can bring it up on the air really, really fast. So
Makes it easy.
yeah,
Allows us to put in the
stop. It's hammer time.
time.
Too legit. Too legit to quit. That's what the weather
Oh.
system's doing. Too legit.
Too legit to quit for Northwest Arkansas.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, last look at the system, the water vapor, and then we're going to shut it. Then the dry slot. Yep. Last look here.
Look at that mess in Dallas, by the way. Look at that.
That is a mess.
That is a mess. Yeah. See it. The reason why
You
I didn't
sung?
sing, I did sing.
What'd you sing?
I sang a Frozen song, and I said,
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I said after that, I'm not singing the rest of the live stream. So that's why I let you kind of cook there.
Let it go with that.
Let it go with that.
You want to know something funny? Is we were in Disney and they have like sometimes these songs that are on the TV, and my daughter's like, "Please be into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown," and then the next song was into the unknown. And she's like, "No way!" She's
That's
like,
awesome.
Into the unknown.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Moana.
she was
That's a
just
great
going. No, it wasn't. That's
that
Frozen 2.
Is that Frozen 2?
Frozen
oh, that's
2.
right. That's right. See,
Into the unknown?
yes. You know what I've got on the mind though is Moana because of that crab in his song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Shiny.
shiny.
Yeah.
But my
The
favorite
shiny
quote from
things.
him is like, "I ate my grandma."
The shiny
Shiny.
things. All right, so
Yeah.
back to this.
Oh man, I gotta watch Frozen 2.
Yeah, Frozen 2, it's not bad. Ooh, that dry slot is big.
I'm worried about that, man. That's why we're going conservative.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're going conservative.
It's better to do that than to be like chewing on your fingers in anticipation of the system coming in and
Exactly.
worrying about it, having to overperform.
Because
So,
the thing is, we know we have a winter storm warning,
yeah,
right? So it's like it's in effect. We know we're going to get winter weather impacts. We don't want to overblow it out of proportion.
you can see all that precipitation developing, but at the same time, look at the system. It is translating eastward.
That is lining up perfectly with our area.
Yeah, that is a large dry slot. That's a large dry slot everywhere. And
Look,
then
Kind of
there
see
is
the kicker system.
there is wraparound.
Yeah.
You know, that is wraparound snow. Because if we look at that, that's definitely wraparound.
Yeah.
There's the wraparound. But remember, wraparound is never, ever, 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 ever as heavy as the warm air advection snow.
Yes. Yes.
The
Cold
warm
air,
conveyor
the
belt.
conveyor belt.
The
Yeah.
warm conveyor belt never is heavy. So,
Yep. It's
all
like
right,
up to the
guys.
River Valley.
Do we have school tomorrow? I doubt
Probably
it.
not.
No.
But do your
Anyways,
homework just in case. Don't make the same mistake I did when I was young.
That way you don't have to do it over the weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
But I know it'll be tough to do that with anticipation of the storm. But get your homework done.
I know from experience.
All right. Moana. Hey, speaking of Moana, we went to that Way of Water, that new
Isn't it cool?
Epcot thing where you
It's
can
awesome.
control the water and you can just make it shoot up in the air and all that stuff.
I love that thing.
Oh,
That's fun.
we got to run because we're getting close to our editorial
Yep.
meeting. All right. Take care, guys. We'll do another live. We'll let you know what we have. Yeah, Florida. No, I guess you got a point there, Brian.
I mean, yeah.
is that there are people that are watching all over the world.
I know.
And people are like, hey, no school tomorrow. That's what
Exactly.
Josh and Dan said. You know,
Exactly.
that's
I'm in
like,
Northwest Arkansas.
how much snow is expected? That's a good question.
One more look.
One last look at this, and then we are shutting it down. Don't worry, Brendan.
Brendan,
This is what we mean about the patience, man.
Yes.
Patience is a
Patience.
virtue with
Patience.
winter weather. So here's a look at the estimated totals. We're shutting this down, Zach. 2 to 4 and 3 to 5 over the rest of Northwest Arkansas with some higher amounts. The plus, it sounds like a cop out. There will be higher amounts, but we're not going to highlight every single individual Ozark mountain peak.
Exactly.
You know?
The elevation.
Yeah, these are the snow totals, Deborah. So check it out. And then the River Valley picking up more. So 3 to 5 and 6 to 8. And maybe that 6 to 8 needs to be bumped up a little more,
Yeah,
but
especially in Waldron.
well, let's see what happens.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. We will be keeping you updated, right, Zach?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care. we'll give you another update here in a little bit as more information comes in.